Earth, and this is a little bit higher up into the atmosphere, so this isn't low to the ground, trying to indicate that low-level rotation, but this storm is still definitely rotating. This is a classic high precipitation supercell thunderstorm. Again, I mentioned it a couple of moments ago. This thunderstorm, it is just a couple of miles away from Gatesville proper itself, so Gatesville, I would still stay in your tornado safe room for a couple of more moments, but anywhere between Gatesville and Oglesby, FM 107, Highway 84, you are under an immediate tornado threat. And I think we're getting pretty close to the time where I would say if you're in McGregor, I think now is the time to start to move to your tornado safe room. If you're in Crawford, it's getting very close to that tornado safe room time. The small community of Mound is pretty much right in the thick of the worst of this thunderstorm. Oglesby, you have just about another, I would say, 10 minutes before the worst of this storm is starting to bear down on you, but you should be in your tornado safe room right now. Again, McGregor and Crawford, we've been tracking this thunderstorm since it moved from Lampasas County into Coryell County, and we have seen this kind of consistent push northeastward. So again, Crawford and McGregor right up and down Highway 317 under threat of this tornado producing storm. Okay. Okay, all right. So you see just in the bottom of our screen right there, we have a different view than what you've seen before. One of our storm chasers is out just near the Moody area. So in Moody, this would be the perfect position to view the structure of this thunderstorm. But because this is a high precipitation supercell, and because we have so much in the way of moisture in the atmosphere, so much rain, you can't see anything. So again, you don't take my word for it. That's all I'm trying to say. Take my word for it that this thunderstorm is moving your way. Don't go out and try to see it. You are not going to be able to at all. Again, kind of the latest update. We just got the latest warning update from the National Weather Service. The warning is still in effect until 12:15. But remember, we just talked about that hail size coming down a little bit, less than what is nickel-sized hail. So the hail threat is pretty much gone with this storm. The wind gust threat is going to be there, especially around where the tornadic rotation is. It is all about that tornado potential. If you are in the community of Flat, you have, I would say, 2 or 3 more minutes until I would say you can get the all clear. Even with the all clear being given, same thing with Gatesville. I think Gatesville about 3 to 4 more minutes until you can get out of your tornado safe room. Do not go outside. And again, don't try to look at this storm. Even though it's pulling away from you, this is a lightning charged thunderstorm, and lightning can strike 15 miles away from a parent thunderstorm. So even though this storm is not yet towards western McLennan County, lots of lightning and thunder could strike even as far as Mother Neff State Park and even close to the Moody area. I think though now is definitely the time if you are in McGregor or Crawford, McGregor especially, and especially on the western side of McGregor. If you live along Highway 84, you need to be in your tornado safe room right now. Your tornado safe room, it is the lowest, most interior portion of your room or of your house, as far away from windows and doors as you could possibly get. And you want to cover your head, get as low to the ground as possible. A bathroom is a great place to be. Also an interior closet, interior hallway. Get as many walls between you and the outside as possible. That is what we're telling you to do, especially if you're in McGregor along Highway 317 or west of 317 along Highway 84. Now, recently, we've been talking a lot about McGregor, but notice how instead of moving more towards McGregor, you can kind of, if you know, with your eye, just kind of look to where this is going. This could potentially be moving more towards Crawford. So anyone along 317 from Crawford southward, up to about McGregor, Moody, you're okay. But Crawford to McGregor on 317, western McLennan County, west of 317, get into your tornado safe room immediately. This storm could very well move towards Crawford. It could very well move towards McGregor. And especially if we have a stronger tornado, they typically move to the right. They typically move eastward. So even if it looks like this storm may be making a little bit more of a path towards Crawford, it could very easily quickly march eastward right down Highway 84, which is not something that, of course, anyone would want to see, especially if you live in western McLennan County. A little bit of a reset. Just want to go back out wide. You know, we've been on air now for close to about an hour, and, you know, of course, we hate to cover up coverage, but we do it because we want to make sure that your fellow Central Texans are safe, and this is a very, very dangerous storm. We have not only that tornado-warned storm, but we also have another severe thunderstorm that is moving its way from Hamilton up into Bosque County. This thunderstorm has been producing a lot of lightning, and right now over Cranfill's Gap, moving its way towards Meridian. This is a much tinier storm than the one that is in Coryell County, still producing a lot of lightning, still producing heavy rain, and also up to about quarter-size hail with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That is moving towards Meridian. I don't think there is much of any tornado potential with this thunderstorm. It just doesn't have the warm inflow air to get a storm to really rotate. It's still the main problem continues to be the storm that is now pretty much right over South Mountain and Oglesby. And look at all of the lightning within this thunderstorm. Whenever we get these severe thunderstorms, the more lightning that we see, typically it means the more unstable the atmosphere and kind of the more hecticness that is going on within this thunderstorm, indicating that it is staying very strong. So again, we're going to kind of switch back and forth between a couple of different radar sites, so bear with us for just 1 second. But again, if you're along FM 107, Highway 84, near South Mountain, near Oglesby, you need to stay in your tornado safe room for the foreseeable future. If you are in Gatesville proper, I would say you are in the all clear, especially in the western side of town. If you're near Highway 36 on the eastern side of Gatesville and you want to stay in your tornado safe room, I wouldn't blame you, but this storm is going to be slowly pulling away. The north gate at Fort Cavazos, you are pretty much in the all clear to come out of your tornado safe room, although I would not go outside again because of all the lightning. Flat, you are in the clear as well, but it's really that South Mountain Oglesby area. One thing we are definitely seeing, excuse me, just taking a look at some of the happenings with the National Weather Service right now. One thing at least I'm seeing currently is if we zoom this storm out, this is going to be a 1-hour radar loop. So we're going to go back an hour, and there's been some signs that this storm it's been strengthening at points, it's been weakening at others, but that more classic supercell look that we've been seeing as of about 45 minutes ago is now turning into kind of a little bit of a mess. So what could be happening with this storm is that the upper level wind shear is kind of tearing the system apart a little bit. I'm seeing a little bit more of a signs, indications that we could see the return of hail within this storm, which at least for the past about 5 to 10 minutes, we haven't really seen those hail indications. And we're also kind of seeing that low-level rotation where we would expect the hook echo to be to not be there. Now, of course, that is good news, but with this environment and still with absolutely nothing impeding warm and humid air from moving into this storm, even if it could potentially not produce a tornado right now, it very easily could within the next couple of moments. And that is why, again, if you are in western McLennan County, near Mother Neff State Park, FM 185, Cedar Rock Parkway, Crawford, McGregor, you need to be in your tornado safe rooms immediately. And again, just like I mentioned, the tornadic portion of this thunderstorm is moving a little bit more towards Crawford, kind of splitting Crawford and McGregor proper. But if this rotation tightens up, which it's trying to do, it really is, it could very well take an easterly jog and move more towards McGregor. So up and down 317 in western McLennan County, get into and stay in your tornado safe room for the foreseeable future. Gatesville, you are in the clear. Coryell City, you're in the clear. But even if you're not in your tornado safe room, do not go outside. These are lightning-packed thunderstorms. There is hail that is around. You don't want to get hit by either one of those things. Okay. All right. So right now we're taking a live look in McGregor. This is, of course, the SpaceX facility. We're Kind of hard to tell. It almost looks like we're getting a little bit of some sunshine or some lightening of the clouds a little bit, which isn't really that great because that would indicate a lot more instability that could be around. This tornado warned storm, it's still trucking along, and it's very concerning, especially if you're living in Oglesby, Crawford, or McGregor. So you know, we like to have fun here, especially me in the morning hours. But you know, this is a very serious tornado threat. We're hoping that what we're seeing, that there's a tornado on the ground, is not true. We're hoping that that's the case, but we have to stay prepared and stay very vigilant up and down 317 in western McLennan County. I want to zoom out just a little bit because we're getting close to the time with this storm. It almost looks like it's moving a little bit faster than 35 miles per hour. So what that means is we are probably within the next 15 or so minutes going to see an extension of this tornado warning from western McLennan County farther into McLennan County itself. Whether or not that is going to include Waco, I can't tell you at the current time, but it very well could. So if you are in McLennan County along and west of I-35 from, I would say, about Hewitt and McGregor northward, you need to keep a very keen eye on this storm. And of course, we're still 317 McGregor, Oglesby, South Mountain, and Crawford under an immediate tornado threat. We're continuing to see this very, very strong rotating thunderstorm that is now about to cross over the county line. And just taking a look, we have some reports from the Coryell County Sheriff's Office that there is structural damage in the Pidcoke area around FM 116. So we will, of course, whenever we can, and it is safe to go out there, hopefully get a crew out there soon. Again, man, it's still looking very, very, very tornadic, this thunderstorm. So again, 317 westward, Crawford, McGregor, you need to immediately be in your tornado safe room. You know, we're not taking this lightly. This is a very serious situation. Both of these are pretty densely populated towns. Of course, we talked about Flat and Oglesby. Those are populated towns as well, but this is just continuing. This has been about an hour now of rotating winds, of a tornadic signature on radar that we are taking very, very seriously. I do want to point out that we have had some reports of hail in Gatesville itself, looking right, I would say around nickel-sized hail with that storm. We haven't received any other reports about any other hail across central Texas either. I'm going to switch over to a little bit of a different radar view, so give me just 1 second, y'all, to see if I can get this up. So right here, I don't think it's going to show up, but that's okay. All right. So just as again, kind of, you know, if you're joining us now, you're kind of preparing for midday with Julie. This is pretty much what we're going to be talking about all through midday. Is this tornadic storm that is moving into western McLennan County? This is still a very, very strong signature of rotation. The rotating winds counterclockwise around this thunderstorm crossing over Highway 84 right now, and even though this storm is kind of making this kind of beeline motion towards either Crawford or McGregor, it looks like Crawford is a little bit more in the path than McGregor is. But whenever we have a strong tornado, which this very well could be producing a strong tornado or could imminently, that could turn it eastward. So you are still under threat in McGregor as well. Latest radar scan, this is now crossing over the county line between Coryell County and McLennan County. So Coryell County, unless you are in the Oglesby, South Mountain area or Coryell City, you are in the clear. And I do want to give you a little bit of a reminder that this is a time-lagged image. This is a snapshot of exactly what is going on right now. Now, as time goes on, it's going to get a little bit delayed and a little bit delayed. So this is an imminent tornado threat near Highway 317, an imminent tornado threat. I'm taking a look at this. I mean, we're talking about a growing area in population across western McLennan County that this tornadic storm is moving through. And if you are joining us and you're in western McLennan County and you're not in your safe room, you're like, I'm going to go look at a tornado. This is not the tornado to do that with because this is shrouded in rain. You kind of see this is over by the SpaceX facility down in McGregor, the bottom right of your screen. We've been keeping an eye on where this thunderstorm is, and there's absolutely nothing that we can see structure-wise. We can't see this thunderstorm because of how much rain is falling currently with it. So heed the warnings, take them seriously. Imminently, right now between Crawford and McGregor on Highway 317 and west of 317, this tornado is bearing down on you right now. Oglesby, the storm is pulling away, but I would still give it another 5 to maybe 10 minutes to keep in your tornado safe room. Coryell City, I think you're just a little bit away from the rotating part of the storm, but it's definitely still a good idea to stay inside. Farther westward into portions of Coryell County, Gatesville and Flat, you are in the clear, which is good news. But again, just a couple of moments ago, we heard about some damage in the Pidcoke area, and I can actually go back and kind of give you this radar loop. Okay, all right, so this is the McGregor cam right there. Okay. All right, this is Highway 84. Again, you know, just like I was mentioning, we're looking directly at the storm. This is off of SpaceX's facility, and we cannot see much of anything. We definitely see the curtains of rain, and we can see that, you know, this is not great. This is a big, powerful thunderstorm, but there's absolutely no indication that we can visibly see that this is or is not producing a tornado. So we just have to go off of the radar imagery. We're hoping that it's not on the ground. We're hoping there's no tornado on the ground right now, but we have to act like it is, because this is moving directly towards Crawford and the northern side of McGregor for sure. Now, even if this tornadic storm is not producing a tornado, at the bare minimum, this is producing some pretty strong wind gusts, probably close to about 60 miles per hour. But again, it's shrouded in rain. If there is a tornado on the ground, you will not be able to see it. We're going to be getting another update from the National Weather Service in just a couple of moments. I'm assuming that they are going to further extend this tornado warning deeper into McLennan County. Now, for the Waco, Woodway, Hewitt area, this is a stay vigilant alerts. Just be aware that this storm is out there. If you're on the western side of Coryell or of McLennan County, China Spring, Golson, West, and also potentially getting close to the Valley Mills area too. Crawford, of course, which we've been talking about, and right down Highway 6, west of I-35, imminent tornado threat again. So the western side of McLennan County is under threat of that tornado, moving its way towards Crawford right now. If you're in China Spring, you have probably about 5 minutes, I would say even less than that, to get into your tornado safe room. Golson, you have a little bit more time, and if this storm were to continue on the path that it is taking, it could very well move up towards West or the Ross area, I would say within about the next 30 to maybe 45 minutes. As you get down farther I-35, Lacey, Lakeview, Belmead, and Waco, just in the same way we've been talking about McGregor, that we could see a pull to the east. That is definitely possible. So again, stay very vigilant if you're along the I-35 corridor in McLennan County that the storm is moving your way. And again, we're continuing to just see the signs of strongly rotating winds. Maybe not producing a tornado right now, could be producing a tornado in 5 minutes, in 5 minutes ago. But as we take a look at the storm, we're kind of getting a little bit of a better picture. This is kind of one of the edges of that thunderstorm, kind of the whale's mouth, so to speak, where you can kind of see almost on the inside of that thunderstorm a little bit. I don't know exactly where. I don't think this is the tornadic part of the thunderstorm. It would probably be over on this side of the screen, right where this weather pole is right here. But at least currently we're not seeing any tornado, which is good. But again, we are not in the proper setup to have a visible tornado. This is probably shrouded in rain, if it is at all. Just want to give a quick reset. We are very close to 12 o'clock. This is going to be your midday programming, y'all. If you're tuning in for some news, well, the news of the day is that there is potentially a tornado moving its way right into Crawford and very close to McGregor right now. If you are in China Spring or Golson, anywhere on the western side of McLennan County, and again, excuse the kind of the jumping of the radar. We're trying to get to the perfect spot to kind of show you what we're seeing. Crawford, Spiegelville, China Spring, Highway 6. Even if you're in Valley Mills, stay in your tornado safe room. Get into your tornado safe room as well. Around the Waco Regional Airport too. where this storm is moving, even though China Spring, Waco Regional, Spiegelville, Windsor, you are not under a tornado warning right now, I want you guys to act like like you're about to, because this warning is set to expire it's set to expire at 12:15, but there's probably going to be another warning that gets issued farther downstream. So the Spiegelville area, Windsor, Waco Regional, China Spring, get into your tornado safe room. McGregor, stay in your tornado safe room. Crawford, stay in your tornado safe room. South Bosque along Highway 84, stretching into the Woodway area, I would say you don't necessarily need to be in your tornado safe room right now. Get prepared to move if you need to, but also just keep a very vigilant eye on this storm. And it's the lunch hour. Do not get out and try to drive in this. I don't know, Brake, can you take over for a second so I can just text my wife, because she's probably going to go out to lunch in just a couple of moments. I just want to make sure that she's okay.
Guys, yeah, y'all got me. All right, so this will be a good time to kind of recap and give a kind of look over of everything. We're just about to the lunchtime hour. We are interrupting programming, so sorry to interrupt soap opera. We'll interrupt likely a large portion of the noon show as well. But again, kind of a wide view recap. A tornado watch is in effect. That runs until 6 o'clock. So we were watching this storm that formed all the way down in southern Lampasas County. That's the polygon for the tornado warning. A tornado watch is in place for the rest of central Texas. As of now, Waco Temple clean, not under any tornado warnings. Waco northward, kind of Highway 84 northward, that's the area we want you to be more weather aware, just like Sean was saying. If you know folks that live there, folks that are kind of doing normal work activities, you want to be paying attention to the weather. What we're watching right now is a rotation inside this storm that could produce a tornado. What you're seeing on the corner of your screen there, that's a view near the SpaceX facilities there, just to the west of McGregor. So they're looking there, kind of should be right in this area here. So it's lost a little bit of that real classic supercell look, but the problem is down in this area, here's Highway 84, here's 317, there still continues to be a persistent rotation in that, and that's what gets us a little worried with storms like this, because persistent rotation, and we're getting, let me look at one thing here so we're not, I mean, it actually, either we're getting some feedback on the radar or, so we're going to have kind of an issue here, but this is probably a little over enhanced of what the actual rotation is. But again, to kind of give you an idea. So again, here's Crawford. The other thing, one thing to keep in mind too, if you're watching us on a streaming platform, on our connected TV or on our app or anything that's not live television, you're going to have a couple-minute delay on this. So we want you to be prepared in advance on this. But again, we're right at noon here. This rotation is going to go north of McGregor. So McGregor, you're in okay shape where it is right now. But Crawford, and then we're going to start shifting our attention to areas kind of from the Waco, pretty much Spiegelville area. So here's Lake Waco here. Here's Highway 6. So it's eventually going to cross 317 and head towards the Highway 6 area. And it's the rotation inside this storm that we're really worried about with right now. Luckily, the hail has not really ever materialized in anything, but it definitely does continue to show again, this persistent rotation with it. And I think it's that persistence that has caused us to keep a very close eye. And again, you see that flare up right there. That's just some issues with the radar, but it's continuing to track right towards Crawford. You live in Crawford, there's a good chance this rotation's moving right through the town right now. Again, this is moving to the northeast, going to cross Highway 317. Again, this is a Spiegelville Road here. So that's the road that takes you from Crawford to the Spiegelville area. China Spring here. So again, this is going to work across the north and eastern parts of McLennan County. This does not include the city of Waco. So Waco, downtown, much of the city, the worst of this rotation is likely to move north of your area. But Sean mentioned this earlier. Sometimes when storms tighten up and strengthen up the rotation, storms can take more of what's a right-hand turn, which right now would be an easterly turn. So Waco, you're not under a warning. Northern, Lacey, Lakeville, Belmead, Bosqueville, China Spring. But if you live in this kind of northwestern quadrant of Waco, you need to be weather aware to know what to do in case this storm does take more of a right-hand turn. Again, the areas we're most concerned is this storm's likely right on top of Crawford right now, and it's going to be moving up to the northeast across parts of China Spring, Golson, and possibly parts of the Bosque County area as well. So again, we apologize for interrupting your programming. We're going to be here. That's one thing we're very vigilant about, is we're going to be here for these kind of storms to help people know, and with it kind of people and their work day, school day, stuff like that. We want you to have the very latest information. But again, that rotation coming towards the Crawford area, and will be moving up to the northeast. But we're going to be here keeping an eye on this activity for a while. This is the only storm we're worried about tornadically right now. And I don't think it's a day we're going to have widespread tornado warnings, but the atmosphere is set up enough that big storms are possible and at least isolated tornadoes are a possibility as we continue to go through the afternoon. So we'll check back in with Sean now.
Yeah, we're keeping a keen eye on what's going to be happening over the next couple of moments. And just to kind of give you a heads up of what's going to be happening, if you are in McLennan County, like Brady was talking about, the Waco area not under a tornado warning, and in all likelihood, the downtown Waco and Waco area, kind of everything east of the lake should be okay. But in a couple of moments, we are going to have a tornado warning get issued, and that is going to include the city of Waco. So what's probably going to happen, you're going to probably hear it on our phones too. It's going to buzz, it's going to sound real scary, and that is your cue to take action and do something. The something that we want you to do is get into your tornado safe room, away from windows and doors. Stay in the lowest portion of your house, an interior closet, interior bathroom, a hallway are some of the greatest places to be. We are again, kind of in this area where there's unfortunately a lot of contamination of the radar image that we're seeing, and the contamination that we're seeing is making it very difficult to track some of this rotation. So we kind of have to use a little bit of a different tool to show it. So again, if you're following the weather, if you know weather, you're taking a look at this and you may not think that this is a tornadic storm, but it very much is. And even though we can't get a firm grasp on it, we have seen reports of wall clouds. You can actually almost kind of see one down at the SpaceX facility down in the bottom right of your screen. It may just be some scud clouds, but we have had reports of yep. Right. Okay. So we just got the new warning that is issued. Everyone's phones are probably, well, technically where we are in the the kind of Woodway area, we are just right outside of the warning polygon, so you won't hear our phones buzz. But if you are pretty much from central Waco towards downtown area, north and westward, including the city of West. Now, this tornado warning actually covers a couple of different areas. I want to show you exactly what counties this covers. This tornado warning, again, for this persistent rotation that we've seen within this thunderstorm, this tornado warning goes until 12:45. So we have about 40 minutes of this tornadic potential for at least time being. This covers parts of Bosque County, very, very southernmost reaches of Hill County, and mostly McLennan County right now. If you are in the Hewitt or Woodway area, you are, I would stay inside. Do not go outside. Don't try to get a look at this thunderstorm. If you are from, I would say, about the Valley Mills area northward, in the Waco area, north and westward, stay inside. Stay in your tornado precautions, because, again, this is a tornadic thunderstorm that is pushing its way on in. You can see that imagery, the SpaceX facility out in McGregor, kind of on the backside of this thunderstorm right now. We're getting very close to the backside of this storm. So we're going to zoom right on down. Again, tornado warning issued for McLennan County, Bosque County, Hill County until 12:45. And this is kind of that down right to local view as to what we are seeing right now. So Eckelberger Crossing, China Spring, Spiegelville, the Waco Airport. If any of this sounds familiar to you, you need to be in your tornado safe room. China Spring Road, Valley Mills Drive northward and westward, I would say. Stay into your tornado safe room right now. I'm going to see if we can get a little bit better data in. Again, if you're just joining us, we're kind of switching back and forth between different radar sites. So we're going to lose the view, but then we're going to get it back really, really quickly. So again, just based off of the radar imagery, it does not look like there's much to this, but there definitely is. We've heard reports of wall clouds. We've heard reports of rotating winds. This is the estimated arrival time for the tornadic portion of this storm. Eckelberger Crossing, pretty much right now, or within the next about 5 minutes. China Spring 12:16, Waco Regional Airport 12:19, Elmont 12:32, West at 12:40, and if it continues into Hill County, Abbott at 12:47. We're hearing the tornado sirens here in our studio, which is just barely out of that tornado warned area. You're probably, if you're in the McLennan County area, hearing those tornado sirens outside. That is your indication that you need to take action. And again, the core of this thunderstorm, where the rotating winds are the strongest, that is crossing over Highway 6 right now and is likely going to avoid Waco downtown proper, kind of most of the Waco area, mostly. But one thing we have to stay very, very vigilant about is if a tornado does form and if it does quickly strengthen, these storms can sometimes take a little bit of an easterly jog. So respect that warning polygon. There's a very famous meteorologist, James Spann, out in Alabama, who says respect the polygon, and we say that for a reason, because if this storm does take a little bit more of an easterly jog, then parts of Waco could potentially see this storm instead of the western side of McLennan County, China Spring, Eckleburg Crossing, Waco Regional Airport, Golson, Elmont, and West. Want to see if we can potentially get a little bit of a better view if we've kind of been able to clean up the radar imagery a little bit for the rotation. Yeah, we're still not in the most ideal place to see rotating winds, but this is a persistent low-level rotation signature. This is moving very, very quickly towards, again, Eckleburger Crossing, State Highway 6, west of I-35 near the Spiegelville area. This is moving pretty much directly towards the Waco Regional Airport. There's MCC's campus right next to the Waco Regional Airport too. Waco Regional, MCC's campus, anyone along China Spring Road in your tornado safe room. ASAP. Spiegelville, ASAP, in your tornado safe room. China Spring proper itself. Golson, get into your tornado safe rooms as well. Again, if this storm continues on its path, it may not reach Waco proper, but all it takes is one quick swing to the west or to the east, and then this potential tornado could be moving a lot closer to a very densely populated part of our area. Of course, if you are in McLennan County, you're probably hearing those tornado warning sirens. Those are going off. Baylor University, their emergency communication system has been activated as well for this storm. But again, if you're in kind of the Waco proper area, we are very much on a just kind of stay vigilant alert. China Spring, Eckleburger Crossing, Waco Regional, Golson, Spiegelville, immediate tornado safe room. McLennan Community College, immediate tornado safe room right now. That is the lowest, most interior portion of your home, away from windows and doors. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. The bathroom is the best place to be because of all the piping that is in there. But even if you don't feel safe in your bathroom, you also have the potential for a hallway or an interior closet. As many walls as you can put between you and the outside as possible is where we want you to be. And if you are in the Waco area, we've been talking about, hey, this is potentially not moving directly towards you. It could potentially stay off to the west, but it's 12:10 right now. So a lot of folks may be considering going out for that lunch break. I would highly recommend staying in place right now, even if you're in Waco in the Woodway area, also into Hewitt too, because lightning can strike with this thunderstorm or any thunderstorm up to 15 miles away. This is our Skycam view on the bottom left of your screen. That is the Waco PD, I believe. I wonder if, Josh, I don't know if you have control of the Skycams. Can you switch it over to the downtown Waco Skycam? I think it's pointed directly towards the west, so we'd kind of get a little bit more of a bigger view as to what's going on. So just like we were saying a couple of moments ago, this is looking directly towards where this tornadic storm would be, or where the rotation would be, and we can't see any sort of definition from this storm. If you are trying to see what this storm is doing with your eyeballs, with your phone, trying to snap a photo for social media, don't do it, because you will not be able to see it and you're putting yourself in danger. Again, the tornadic portion of this thunderstorm is imminently, if not already, crossing over Highway 6. That is moving directly towards Eckelberger Crossing, China Spring Road, Waco Regional Airport, all very much under immediate threat. We're talking about 5 minutes or less for this potential tornado to move through. And a little bit farther up McLennan County, farther to the north, we're also seeing China Spring and Golson. Both of those cities are in the path as well. Switching back over to that rotation view to see the swirling winds. Again, we're kind of in a little bit of no man's land right here as far as getting a really good low-level view. And we're still kind of not seeing it. But again, those rotation is very, very, very strong. Is it producing a tornado? Is it not? I can't tell you. I don't know. We have no ground truth. We probably will never get ground truth on this because it could be wrapped in rain. But every single sign that we are seeing here in the KWTX studios, and also, of course, up into Fort Worth at the Weather Center, is that a tornado, if it's not occurring right now, it is potentially imminently occurring, crossing over within the next moments, Highway 6. Those tornado safe rooms are going to be the places that you're going to stay for a little bit of time. Now, I do want to kind of zoom back a little bit and show you what's going on behind where this thunderstorm was. Up and down Highway 317, you're not all in the clear just yet. The worst of the rotation has and is continuing to pull away, but I would still stay inside for just a couple of moments, at least another 5 to maybe 10 minutes for Crawford down to McGregor. If you are along Highway 6, up towards China Spring, up towards Valley Mills Drive as well, I would very much stay in your tornado safe rooms as well. It's going to be a couple of more minutes before this storm clears. Well, it's probably going to be about 15 to 20 minutes before this storm clears its way across Highway 6. And as we kind of zoom it out a little bit, right, there's China Spring Road right there. So this is pretty much right on some of the most congested parts of western McLennan County, some of those major arteries. Highway 6, China Spring Road, out towards the airport. That is where this rotating thunderstorm is. Outside of this one thunderstorm, I'm going to zoom it out and show you what I'm talking about. There is not terribly much going on right now. It is just this one thunderstorm that we are watching as far as a severe weather potential. Now, I do want to point out that there has been another thunderstorm that has been getting going behind this main one very recently, just within the past about 15 to 30 minutes. We've seen another thunderstorm develop across Coryell County, moving into Gatesville. This storm is, again, not severe. It is probably not going to be strengthening too much more because we just had that rain that moved its way through. So that's kind of weakening causing the atmosphere to stabilize a little bit. But again, these are pretty hefty thunderstorms, and take them very seriously, and especially the tornado warned storm that is still crossing over Highway 6 right now. It's very much losing definition as far as clarity as to exactly where the strongest portion of this thunderstorm is, but we know from experience that pretty much the strongest rotating winds, the greatest potential for this tornado is right now crossing over Highway 6 and moving right towards China Spring, very close to the Waco Regional Airport, and eventually moving its way up towards Golson. Golson, if you are in your tornado safe room, that's perfect. That's exactly where we want you to be. If you are not in your tornado safe room in China Spring or Golson right now, we want you to get inside immediately and stay there. Crawford area, you are give it 2 more minutes. McGregor, we're going to say the all clear for you. Don't go outside if you can avoid it, because these, again, are still some pretty lightning-packed thunderstorms. And we're getting close to the time where if you're in northern McLennan County, especially from west down to Lacey, Lakeview, and westward, that you're going to want to be in your tornado safe room as well. So west, you're on alert to get into your safe spot in just a couple of moments. The sooner the better, of course. Wortham Bend Road is pretty much right where the tornadic winds are right now. Same thing with China Spring Road. We have a couple of different storm chasers. We have our sky cams that are showing the picture right now on the bottom left of your screen, or bottom right of your screen, showing the cloudy skies. It is very, very difficult to see anything at all. So you're just going to have to trust us that we are seeing the signs of potential danger. We don't want you guys to get caught off guard, caught outside in this storm. Again, just a quick brief overview before we get back to Brady. The tornadic rotation within this thunderstorm, China Spring Road, Golson, up towards the west area. That is where we have that imminent tornado potential. We haven't heard of anything being confirmed that there is a tornado on the ground because, again, this is a rain-wrapped system. We're not going to be able to see the tornado, but the signs are still pointing that this could produce a tornado imminently if it isn't right now, and it's had that tornadic signature now for about an hour and a half. So take this storm very seriously. Brady?
Yeah, Sean, and like I said, we've been watching this for a while, and the other thing to kind of take away from this is how much kind of or tighter this rotation is. You can kind of see we're switching between different radars there. So what that tells us, we're still kind of hitting it a little on the higher side, but again, some pretty significant rotation. So to kind of, again, show you where we're looking. So here's Waco right here. Here's Highway 6. Here's Lake Waco. This rotation is probably now passing Highway 6. So out around the Eckelberger crossing area, right across the Spiegelville area. So if you don't know Spiegelville, so that's kind of the intersection Crawford to China Spring and Waco to Valley Mills there. So kind of out near where Hellberg Barbecue is if you're a barbecue fan like me. But again, tight rotation right along that area. Again, it's a setup where, I mean, we're showing you all of our sky cams. We've got storm chasers. We're talking with the National Weather Service. There's just not a lot visibility-wise because right now the best rotation is probably in this area where there's significant heavy rain ongoing. So if a tornado is on the ground, we may not know about it or really learn about it until the aftermath of any damage that's ongoing with this. So again, you live anywhere from the Waco, I would say Loop 340 northward. That's kind of the area that we need to be. So this is Lakeshore Drive northward. So Bosqueville, probably north of Waco Regional and Bosqueville, but in those areas you definitely need to be weather aware. China Spring, you already need to be in your tornado safe area. And just because you're thinking, hey, we're getting heavy rain, we're going to miss the worst, no, this is one of those where you're going to get some heavy rain and then the winds could pick up because, again, this is when you see this kind of notch look real big like this, it doesn't have that real defined hook like we see in your classic supercell storms. This means there's likely good rotation, but there's also a ton of heavy rain. You can see how soupy our camera is looking there from the, that's from the MCC campus looking. But again, still looking very significant rotation, now has crossed Highway 6. So again, Eckelberger Crossing, Baylor Camp Road. Again, here's Spiegelville here. So again, China Spring. Now, China Spring's a hard thing to define because you've got some schools from here all the way out to here. So anywhere in the China Spring area, you need to be prepared. You've got a significant storm and some pretty decent rotation ongoing with this. And what we're showing you right here is the radar seeing the winds inside. So red is winds going away from the radar, green is winds coming in. So that's showing the excuse me, the pretty stout rotation that's inside of that storm. So again, that is north of the Waco area. For folks in the Waco area that got alerted of this warning, right now the tornado threat is sitting just north of the city of Waco, but you live anywhere in the northern portions of McLennan County, particularly as you get closer to China Spring, Golson, and eventually up towards the west area, you need to be prepared for this storm. So we'll just show you real quick the, again, the watch and the warning areas that we're monitoring. And I know some folks get confused because the watch is in effect and worried that a storm's heading your area. Large area under this tornado watch. It's northern McLennan County under this tornado warning that we're watching. We've got our full team here. We'll continue to keep an eye on this storm as it continues to move to the northeast. Sean?
Yeah, we're still shuffling through some of our sky cams in the bottom right of your screens, trying to get any sort of indication as to what's been happening in this thunderstorm. But like Brady's saying, like I've been saying, we just cannot see in it. We just kind of have to go off of what is showing up on radar. This is the track box that I've drawn. Of course, this is right now, the tornadic part of this thunderstorm is directly over China Spring, but it is within about the next 10 minutes going to be moving towards Golson. So especially China Spring, Golson, you are under that immediate tornado threat. And a little bit farther north into northern McLennan County, again, we're getting a little bit farther away from the more populated communities, the suburbs around the city of Waco itself. And we're kind of getting into a little bit more of a rural part of the county, but still China Spring, Golson, eventually up towards the Ross area and west. West is one place that we're going to be keeping a keen eye on over the next about 25 minutes. This storm is going to be moving towards west right at around 12:45. So 25-ish minutes from now, I would say with a 25-minute arrival time, now is the time to really start gathering everything that you need to gather to get into your tornado safe room, especially in the Ross and West area. The tornado safe room, we've talked about it in case you don't know, in case you're new to Central Texas, you've never had to deal with this type of weather before. Tornado safe room, the place that you want to be, is the lowest, most interior portion of your house. If you have a basement, some of us do, a lot of folks in Central Texas really don't, or if you have a storm shelter, those are the best places to be. But if you don't have one of those, the most interior, lowest portion of your house. It's going to be different for everybody. For me, in my apartment, my tornado safe room is in the bathroom. That is where we are the most, or the farthest away from the outside walls. The farther inside, the stronger your structure is going to be. So a bathroom is a great place to be, away from windows and doors, of course. And if you don't have an interior bathroom, we're talking a closet. We're also talking a hallway as well. Now, if you do move into your tornado safe room, one thing we urge you to take sometimes is we want you to take a blanket or something to cover your head, because if you do get hit by a tornado, that is, of course, a bad day, of course, but we don't want you to also get injured from any sort of flying debris. Again, we have not seen anything say that definitively, yes or no, this is a tornado. It's just not going to be that type of a storm that we can say yes or no right now, but every single thing that we are seeing, the signs continue to indicate that this tornado, this storm is continuing to rotate. Now, this is probably something you have never seen before. This is what we call, it's the official name is called correlation coefficient, but it's just a fancy term for a lot of stuff you don't need to know about. But what we're looking for is potential debris. What can happen with tornadoes, weak tornadoes, strong tornadoes, anything, is that if they cause some sort of damage to trees, to houses, anything, what it is, that debris can get lofted into the atmosphere, and it would show up as kind of this greenish blue area on this radar image. And we are not seeing that greenish blue, which is a good sign. That's a great thing. We don't want to see that because, you know, folks' livelihoods, that is what we would be picking up on radar. So what we're looking for is potential for debris. We're not seeing that right now, which is great, fantastic. We don't want that to happen. But again, that persistence, the persistent rotation that we have seen now for about an hour and a half is why we have been talking about this storm. And even just recently, over the past couple of minutes, we're kind of getting into this area where we're getting more of a mid-level look at the storm instead of low down to the ground where a tornado would be. And that mid-level look makes it look a whole lot dangerous. Those bright reds, those bright greens, and that very well could be the signs of a tornado. But this at least looks to me, it looks to be a little bit more into the mid-levels of the atmosphere. But regardless, it is a strongly rotating thunderstorm, and with the rain-wrapped potential for a tornado in this storm, we are not going to have any sort of lead time to see it if it moves towards you. So that means China Spring, Golson right now, you know, we're pretty much in the thick of things. The worst of this is just to the west of the Waco Regional Airport. There's Lake Waco down there, and you can see the biggest rotating part of this thunderstorm is staying west of I-35 and just barely to the west of Waco Regional. China Spring, you're still in the thick of things. And again, this is a little bit time lagged. This is about 2 minutes delayed. And if you're watching us on any streaming platforms, if you're watching us on Facebook, if you're watching us on our KWTX Weather app, you're probably a little bit even more delayed than that. You can take a look at the time there in the top left. That is the time that we are, of course, broadcasting to you, but by the time it gets to you, maybe a couple of minutes delayed. So again, Golson, China Spring, Waco Regional Airport, that is the big area right now for an immediate danger. You can see Wortham Bend Road right there, China Spring Road. This is crossing over pretty much right now. We also Rock Creek Road, and once we start to get farther past Golson, we're still getting into populated areas, but a little bit more of a rural area in northern and western McLennan County. So thankfully the population density isn't that big, but it is still a very dangerous sight to see this big rotation in this thunderstorm moving its way towards the northeast. Just a little bit of a reset, trying to take a look at what's going on. We still do have the tornado warning in place. I do want to zoom it out and show you that the box has been trimmed down a little bit. So the Waco area is no longer under a tornado warning. But if you're just north of Belmead, Lacey Lakeview, Ross, West, the northern half of I-35, the northern half of McLennan County and I-35, up to the Axtell area, all the way to the west, even including the Valley Mills area, you are under a tornado warning. And as we kind of bounce back and forth between what the radar reflectivity is, this is your traditional, rain and maybe some hail, and of course the rotating winds, we are, yeah, it's towards China Spring right now. There's a little bit of a disconnect between what we're seeing on radar and as we switch between a couple of different things. So if we go back up here, you see this is the radar reflectivity. It looks like it's more up here, but it's actually a little bit closer towards the lake. So we're gonna keep it on the rotation view because I think that's the best that we can get within this thunderstorm. China Spring, you're still not in the all clear just yet. I'd give it another 10 minutes or so. Same thing around Eckelberger Crossing, Waco Regional Airport. You're still very much in the thick of this. The Golson area, Horseshoe Bend Road, Golson Road, and eventually getting up towards Ross. This is bearing down on you immediately. So Golson and Ross, if you're not in your tornado safe room right now, you need to be in your tornado safe room as soon as possible. And we are now, I would say, about 10 to 15 minutes away from when this tornadic rotation would be moving more towards west. So if you are in the west area or in the surrounding areas around west in northern McLennan County, now is the time to get into your tornado safe room. Get there and stay there until we give you the all clear, because things are going to happen pretty fast when the storm does bear down. So we want to give you as much lead time as possible. Off on the bottom right on your screen, we have our TxDOT cameras. This is Tokyo Road and I-35 up in west. It is very difficult to not only see the tornado itself because of all the rain, but it's also very difficult traveling on I-35 currently. I can't tell, are we looking towards the south or are we looking towards the north off that sky cam, off the TxDOT cam? Okay, so we're looking south. So this is not good because look at how many more cars are streaming their way up towards the west area, up I-35, as opposed to the other way, which is a little bit farther away from the storm. So again, if you are anywhere in northern and western McLennan County, from I would say the Lacey, Lakeview, and Elmont area northward towards Ross, Golson, and even still China Spring, stay in your tornado safe room. Do not go outside and try to see the storm. You are not going to see it because just like you see in the bottom of your screen, it's wrapped in rain. You're not going to be seeing it. So just kind of a quick reset again, just making sure we're giving you the most up-to-date information. Nothing much has really changed. Again, we're in this radar no man's land where we're kind of bouncing between about 3 different radars, and it's very broad rotation, which is good news. We still haven't seen the signs that there is debris being lofted into the atmosphere. That is good news too, but this has been a persistent rotation signature now for hours, and I actually want to zoom out and show you exactly what's been happening over the past couple of hours. This is a 2-hour radar loop, and notice you can see that thunderstorm. You can kind of track it right there. You can see the bright rotation pretty much moving directly from Lampasas County all the way up into northern McLennan County, which is where we're at right now. I do want to take a moment, though, to kind of zoom down in on this storm near Gatesville, moving its way towards Coryell City. A lot of rotating winds, a broad rotation, nothing tight that would indicate an immediate tornado threat. However, if you are in Coryell City or Moshim, even in the Crawford area, this is another one of those storms. Definitely stay inside. Don't go out and try to see what's going on with it. Could be a little bit of some hail within this thunderstorm as well. We're getting pretty close to quarter-size hail north of Highway 36 and just west of Coryell City, too. New update from the Weather Service. Kind of like what I was saying just a couple of moments ago, that rotation, we've seen it. It's very, very strong. It's been strong for a very long period of time. But over the past couple of scans, instead of being that tight low-level rotation, which would be indicative of a tornado, we are more so seeing mid-level rotation, broad rotation, which indicates that this, is a strong thunderstorm, but may not be producing a tornado imminently. That's good news. So a better update is what we're seeing as the radar scans the skies, but we still want to keep our guard up because we have absolutely no way of telling whether or not a tornado is on the ground because we just will not be able to see it. The worst of this is right over Golson currently, so I would say another 5 minutes for China Spring until you're in the all clear. So right around, I would say 12:40 is when you can come out of your tornado safe rooms. Again, still don't go outside. Don't try to see the storm. You could still potentially get impacted by some gusty winds and lightning. Farther away from China Spring and Golson, again, that rotation is north of Lake Waco now. So Belmead, I would say you're in the all clear. Waco, Woodway, Hewitt southward. Crawford, you're in the all clear too, but we have that other thunderstorm just to the west that could still produce some lightning, so still try to stay inside. McGregor is okay as well, but Golson, Ross, and West especially, those are the immediate areas where we are concerned for a potential tornado moving through. Tokyo Road, Fort Graham Road, we're kind of getting close to Ross with this rotation too. So if you're traveling or about to travel up and down I-35 anywhere in northern McLennan County, or if you're traveling from Hill County southward, you do not want to do that. You want to stay away from this thunderstorm as well. I'm going to put a track box on this and show you where the strongest part of this thunderstorm, the rotating winds, could be if it continues on what has been a very consistent path up towards the northeast. Golson right now, Elmont within the next couple of moments, although that's kind of very much clipping the outer fringes of that track box. 12:51 for West, Abbott just a little bit before 1 o'clock, Mount Calm at 1:05, and Hubbard at 1:15. Now, again, we've seen a decrease in the tornadic rotating winds over the past couple of moments. So the tornado warning that is still currently in place, we're going to switch back over to a different view. That tornado warning, which goes for Bosque, Hill, and McLennan County, is in place until 12:45. So we have just about another 10 minutes that the tornado warning is in place. Now, what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes? We don't know. We could potentially see that tornado warning get extended. If it starts to tighten back up again, we could see that tornado warning get canceled or expire if the rotation starts to go down a little bit. But again, we are treating this seriously. We want you to treat it seriously as well. This is a very dangerous storm that is persistently showing a lot of rotation across central Texas. And right now, the worst of this thunderstorm is bearing down on the city of West right now. So Golson to Ross to West, you are in the path of the strongest portion of this thunderstorm for at least the next 15 to 20 minutes. I do want to point out the other thunderstorm that we've been kind of keeping a close watch on just near Coryell City. Again, we've talking a lot about rotation. This is another rotating thunderstorm, but notice how wide this rotation is. We have some greens on the backside indicating winds going towards the radar, reds, winds going away. It's broad scale rotation, meaning that it's not imminently going to produce a tornado, but I would not be surprised if there was some at least quarter-size hail moving its way towards Coryell City and Moshim, and eventually potentially towards Valley Mills too. So FM 215, FM 929 is under threat for at least a little bit of some hail as the storm moves its way northeastward. Nothing, again, that shows a imminent tornado threat. It's still just that one storm that is on the northern side of McLennan County. And kind of going back to this view, which is what we use to see a potential debris signature. If there was a tornado that was being produced and it was causing some damages, of course it's going through a relatively populated area, we would be able to see some sort of potential debris, which would show up as kind of a green or a blue on the radar map. But we're seeing a lot of red, which indicates that there is no debris inside of this thunderstorm right now. So just to give you another quick reset, just to zoom it out a little bit wide, we're going to go back over to Brady in just a moment. But again, that tornado warning continues for the next 9 minutes across northern McLennan County. That warning may very well be issued and extended deep into parts of Hill County as well. We also have that other thunderstorm in Gatesville too. Brady?
Yeah, Sean. So again, Sean, great coverage on this. And again, folks in Waco, I know we've had some people call worried that you heard the tornado siren. So when a tornado warning is issued, that warning polygon, when it covers parts of the city of Waco, you can see right now, it's really from the Lakeshore Drive area, Belmead, La Vega area moving forth. So yeah, so we just got word from the National Weather Service the tornado warning is going to be extended downstream. So this is going to be northern McLennan County into Hill County particularly. But the majority of the city of Waco, you're under no threat. Right now it's more east, northeast of the China Spring area up towards Golson. It's really in this area north of the Lacey Lakeview area up towards west. This is where this rotation is sitting, and it's going to cross right over I-35. You can see the video we have there in the corner of the screen. That's a TxDOT camera of that where that activity is moving across I-35. So I'll give you another quick look at the velocity, and Sean, I'll cover everything until the new warning comes out, and then I'll let you. But yeah, so you can see right on top of the Golson area. And as we've kind of mentioned, this is a somewhat delayed product, so a couple minutes. So this could be right here near and just north of Ross. So that video you see in the corner of your screen, that's Tokyo Road at I-35. So this rotation is going to pass right near where this TxDOT camera is. So we've got a great view there, but you can see how it's socked in with rain. If you have to be traveling, wait to go up I-35 northward between the Waco and west area, because that's where that rotation is right now, and it's moving up to the northeast. So we're going to be watching areas from west, mainly north of Highway 31, but Hubbard will watch from you northward, Abbott west, again in this southeastern part of Hill County. Hillsboro's right up here at the top of the screen. But it's in this area here where this persistent rotation has been ongoing. Really, other than just kind of signs that there is rotation, we haven't had a lot to say that there is anything on the ground, but you know, you've got to take these kind of storms seriously. And we'll check back in with Sean. He's got the very latest on the new warning that's in effect.
Yeah, like we were saying, we're waiting to see whether or not this is going to continue to rotate, potentially still produce a tornado. And that tornado warning has now been issued for the northern portions of McLennan County, from the Golson area northward, including the city of Ross, including west as well. This tornado warning also extends into central and mostly eastern portions of Hill County. So Hillsboro proper, you're actually excluded from this new tornado warning, which runs until 1:15 this afternoon. But just like we've been watching this kind of consistent track that's been moving from China Spring to Golson to west, now this storm is going to be moving into Hill County in a couple of moments. I do want to say, though, that just because we're saying Hill County a lot doesn't mean that we're not going to be seeing potential impacts to McLennan County, because we definitely will be, especially from the Ross area northward. We're kind of getting a little bit more of a zoomed in view. So there's the community. I'm actually in front of it. There's Leroy right there. We have Ross down there. We also have West, which is very much in the path of this storm. And again, we're having some trouble with this storm, trying to get a really good view as to what's going on the inside, just because of how much rain there is and kind of the position of where this thunderstorm is currently. But this whole big envelope from west down to Ross is where that potential tornado could be produced at any time if it's not already on the ground. We're continuing to see radar indicated rotation instead of a ground truth or confirmation. There's been kind of some spatterings here and there that there has been some wall clouds reported, some funnel clouds reported, but no tornado has been reported as of just yet. Again, if you are in the community of Ross, if you are in West or as I zoom it out and draw a tracker box into parts of Hill County, including the eastern side of Hill County, this is moving your way. The tornado warning goes until 1:15 p.m. The city of West, you have about 5 minutes before this is bearing down on you. And again, this is a little bit time lagged. So if you're not in your tornado safe room right now in West, you need to be ASAP. Penelope 101, Malone 107, Hubbard 111, Irene 114, and this storm eventually, by the time this warning expires at 1:15, is going to be pulling away from central Texas, which is great news. However, we do have another storm. We've been kind of talking about it a little bit near Coryell City that is still catching our eyes just a little bit. No severe thunderstorm warning on this storm right now, and there probably won't be, at least imminently. But as we take a little bit of a zoom down view into it, this is another one of those rotating thunderstorms. We've been all week long kind of talking about a lot of the strong wind gusts that are going to be coming today, tomorrow, and also on Sunday as well. And that's aiding in the wind shear. So this storm over Coryell City, moving its way up towards Valley Mills, crossing into far western McLennan County, is likely not imminently producing a tornado, but it has been showing some signs of strengthening and could be producing up to, I would say, about nickel-sized hail. Elsewhere across central Texas, as we switch back over to our regular radar view, you can actually see there really is not terribly much going on. It is just this kind of cluster of thunderstorms that is pushing its way on through. We've seen some more rain try to redevelop from Hamilton County down into Mills County, but there's really not much going on with that. It's just this one tornadic thunderstorm that is, you know, we've been on the air now since just a little bit before 11 o'clock, and it's just this one storm that has caused us to do that, because it's just been persistently rotating. It's been persistently keeping its strength, and this, where you see all this, the pockets of lightning, that is where the tornadic portion of the storm is. All the lightning is getting produced because there is a very strong influx of winds, which is creating a lot of turbulence in the atmosphere. It's causing a lot of chaos in the clouds, and that is why this thunderstorm is just continuing to maintain strength. No further updates. Anyone that's close to this storm, we haven't had any sort of word as to what's going on inside of it or near it, which is good. We don't want people to be out very close to this dangerous storm in which you wouldn't even be able to see a tornado because it would be wrapped in rain. But that signature has continued to show consistent rotation. And I do want to back it up just about 30 minutes to an hour. Again, we've kind of been seeing it go back and forth. It's been ebbing and flowing every now and again. It's strengthening, weakening, strengthening, weakening. But here we go. This is going to be a 1 hour radar loop for you. This is a current time. You can see 12:43. This jumps out, right? I mean, if you're looking at this, this is pretty indicative of a rotating thunderstorm, but this is potentially not low-level rotation, which is where, of course, a tornado would be. But here's that 1 hour radar loop as it crossed from South Mountain and Oglesby area right towards near Crawford and near China Spring and near Golson, and now very much approaching the city of West. That rotation signature has been consistent, not only just for the past hour, but all the way since about 11 o'clock this morning when that tornado warning was first issued back in Lampasas County. The problem is we're in an environment that a tornado could be easily produced, and this may or may not have produced a tornado at some point in its lifetime. But again, we're taking this very seriously because we have absolutely no way to see inside of this thunderstorm because of how much it is wrapped and shrouded in rain. We are pretty much in the time right now where the worst of this thunderstorm would be moving into the city of West. So if you are in the city of West, it's probably getting real loud right now. You're hearing a lot of lightning and thunder. Stay in your tornado safe room. Again, that's the lowest, most interior portion of your home, as far away from windows and doors as you possibly can get. That is including a bathroom, a hallway, a closet, as long as you're as far away from the outside as possible, because the closer to the inside of your home that you get, that's where the stronger reinforcement is for a lot of these for homes. If you've ever seen photos of tornadoes damage, you see see not a lot standing except for what looks to be the inside of a house. Bottom right of your screen right there now is where we would be looking currently if this tornado was moving across I-35, which it looks like it would be at the current time. Tokyo Road and west, this is I-35. You can see that in the bottom left. Traffic is slowing down, which of course we don't want to see if a potential tornado is moving through. But again, this is a rain-wrapped tornado. You would not be able to see it. Now, I do see over in Brady's part of the studio, he has what we've been talking about, potentially a funnel cloud showing up from the storm a couple of minutes ago. So, Brady.
Yeah, Sean, so this was sent to us by Stephanie Petty. So this is looking, if you're in the China Spring area, so this is looking kind of if you were driving north from Waco up to China Spring, looking off towards the right. So this would be between the China Spring and Golson area. But yeah, we've got, you can see right here, and they sent me one of the live views where it takes multiple pictures with an iPhone, and you could see some rotation in this. So we have no clue if this touched down, but at least what looks to be a likely funnel cloud. We've seen some other reports. She also told me that some other people she knows in China Spring have noticed some damages to fences and stuff like that. So at least some minor damage that we know of, and several reports of this funnel cloud. And again, this would be if you were in China Spring looking more towards the north area there of where this is. So this is a little bit of visual proof that this storm does have pretty persistent rotation. Now this is already passed through the China Spring area, so this is more just kind of after the fact kind of deal. But again, to kind of show you the area we'd be talking about, it would be kind of right up in this area here. Now the rotation is more up closer to I-35, and as Sean's been showing you, you can see on the camera view there, a nasty view right in and around I-35. So I'll put this in pause real quick here and kind of give one more look at the rotation that is sitting near and just south of the west area. So this rotation is likely crossing I-35 as we speak, very close to where that camera is looking there. Rotation moving just south of west. It's going to be moving up to the north, Leroy to Penelope, and then up to the areas near and east of the city of West is where we're kind of watching this rotation now. So let's give you another update on the specifics when it comes to the tornado warning that is in effect. So again, the tornado warning is in effect for northern McLennan County, the southern parts of Hill County. So it officially includes Aquila. I would say from Abbott to Aquila, you're out of the rotation concerns of this particular area here. It's more from Abbott to Malone, and again, possibly Hubbard, but likely north of there. If you live in West, you're getting pelted with rain right now. The worst of the rotation's moving just south of you now, but you still need to be taking those tornado precautions. Again, this rotation is crossing I-35, moving into the northeastern parts of McLennan County, and again, eventually Hill. Now, if you live closer down towards the Waco area, you're no longer under this warning. China Spring, no longer under this warning. It's shifting up to the north and east. And on the broader view, you can kind of see where this storm is going. Now, Sean was telling you, we're starting to see indications that broad rotation's ongoing in other storms. So a hail producer likely that's out around the Coryell City area. This is another thing to keep an eye on. If you live in China Spring and you're wanting to go out and check everything, keep a close eye on the radar because more storms are possible. Right now, it's mainly these two storms that we're keeping a close eye on. And we've got our full team here. Sean's handling most of the stuff on the wall. We're updating our weather app as well. That's a great resource to have, social media as well. And we'll continue to keep our full team keeping an eye on it. Sean?
All right, a little bit of a different radar view. Yes, we of course have this tornado warned storm that is very much what we've been focusing on. But I do want to point your attention back towards the west a little bit, near and west of Highway 281. Now, later on this afternoon, there has been a chance, we've been seeing it now for the past couple of hours when a lot of the forecast model data, that after this kind of morning round of storms moves away, which is going to continue to happen over the next couple of hours, we may see some more storms try to redevelop back off towards the west. And one thing we're also kind of seeing too is sunshine, which is not what we want to see, because sunshine will take what is a kind of stable atmosphere west of I-35 and re-destabilize it yet again. So just because we have these very strong thunderstorms pushing across the landscape right now does not mean we are done with the storm threat for the day today, as more sunshine kind of goes, and you can actually see, I believe this is where the dry line is right now. At least this is what it would look look like on satellite. So you can see those clouds are trying to form along the dry line, but they're not getting there just yet. So as more sunshine shows up west of I-35, this first round of rain will move away, but then we could see another round of thunderstorms as well. And you can actually see some of those thunderstorms trying to get going off towards the west. Another little radar view or satellite view that I want to show you, which actually may help to show you what's going on. You can see these brighter colors, these oranges and the reds, indicating that this is a strong updraft, a strong indication that there's winds moving into the system. The storm, it's an overshooting top. It's going right up to the top of the troposphere. These storms are still hanging on, but again, we have to watch for potentially some more redevelopments back west of I-35 within the next about hour or so. Again, if you are just now joining us, we have some sporadic reports that have been coming in from the Emergency Manager's Office in McLennan County that a tornado has potentially touched down previously. This is, of course, that same storm. This is probably about 15-20 minutes ago in China Spring, with some sporadic damage reports coming in. So, of course, we are going to be watching that right now. So, again, we've been talking about this. This storm has been producing a lot of broad-scale rotation, and we don't want to let our guard down, because even if the rotation doesn't look good to us on radar, doesn't look like it's about to produce a tornado, it still very much could in between radar scans very quickly. So we're going to have our crews out there in China Spring taking a look at some of the damage. But if anyone in the back is listening and they're going to send a crew out towards China Spring right now, don't do it, because there is another storm that is moving its way towards China Spring. Not severe, but could be producing up to about nickel-sized hail, lots of lightning, rain, and thunder. We still have this persistent tornado warning, though. It's 12:51, 12:52, and that time call out probably a good way to gauge where exactly you are if you're watching us on a streaming service, what time it's reaching you. The tornadic portion of this thunderstorm is continuing to pull away from west. It's still very much a threat for west for probably at least the next 5 to 10 minutes, but it's now shifting to a little bit more of a threat for Hill County, far northern McLennan County and eastern Hill County. The strongest portion of this thunderstorm pretty much right over Cottonwood right now, 104 in Penelope, 109 in Malone, Irene 115. If I just called out your city, you need to get into your tornado safe room and stay there until the all clear is given. Speaking of the all clear, Golson, you are all clear of this first thunderstorm, but both Golson and China Spring, and also into Crawford as well, do not go outside just yet. I just mentioned a couple of moments ago that that's severe thunderstorm, or not severe thunderstorm warning right now. Actually getting another report in coming from the sheriff's office that there is a tornado on the ground in northern McLennan County. Southeast of west. So that is so very helpful for us, because we can actually now kind of pinpoint. We've been looking at this the radar imagery, and it's been kind of ragged a little bit. So if it's just to the southeast of west, this is where there is potentially an active ongoing tornado. If you are in west, just east of I-35 and west, just to the south of west as well, we want you to stay in your tornado safe room. Folks in the back, if we could try to get that Tokyo Road TxDOT camera, or if we have another camera that is closer to west available. Can we put that up full screen and see if we can see anything going on? A lot of traffic, definitely on I-35. The traffic that you see coming towards the camera is for northbound. That's northbound going directly towards where this storm is. And again, if there is a tornado on the ground, like we just heard a report from the McLennan County Sheriff's Office, it would be on the other side of this camera. But this traffic that is showing up is starting to indicate to me that there is something that is causing this traffic to slow down. Of course, the rain, but it could also be that tornado as well. Again, potentially an ongoing active tornado just southeast of west currently. Brady?
Yeah, Sean, so what you're passing along the McLennan County Sheriff Department reporting a tornado on the ground earlier in the Tours area. So this is west, here's Tours, so we're just sitting, it'd be in and around that area right now, and we're zoomed in pretty tight with this. So if you went from downtown west to Tours, you're only talking 4 miles. So this is going to be right. So here's Heritage Parkway. It's likely crossed that. So now we start talking about some of these smaller roads and communities that are more to the north or to the south east and eventually east of the city of West. So here's County Line Road here, West Crab, Mitchell. Check Hall Road. So some of these east of the west area. So again, here's the city of West. A lot of farming land out here that's out in the eastern parts, far northern parts of McLennan County. But again, the last report we had was that there was a tornado on the ground near around the Tours area. The strongest rotation just to the north of there. That'd be about 3 or so miles southeast of the city of West. So it's going to move over here across eastern areas or far northern parts of McLennan County, just east of the city of West. Here's the county line as you go into Hill County. So as Sean's been telling you, we start watching into Hill County, Penelope, Malone, areas like that. But if you live anywhere near the eastern side of West, you still need to be hunkered down, taking your tornado precautions. But again, it's right here, just the southeast, just east of I-35, and this rotation moving up to the northeast. And we'll continue to keep an eye on more of the reports coming in from first responders, emergency management, and again, our team's keeping an eye on everything as well. Sean?
We are kind of in between. We have Fort Worth up to the north. That's a different television market than we are. Hill County is kind of that crossover. So one of the storm chasers from the CBS station up in Dallas and Fort Worth is actually looking at that thunderstorm up by the west area and says that there is debris that he can see on the ground. So that tornado that, again, is moving its way eventually into Hill County in the far northern part of McLennan County is active and ongoing. I do want to point out, though, that this thunderstorm has really blossomed just behind that first thunderstorm. So typically, whenever we get these really big thunderstorms moving through, that first one will zap a lot of energy out of the atmosphere and cause subsequent ones to weaken a little bit. But that is not the case with this one. Up and down Highway 6, stretching from Clifton down to Valley Mills. And again, we've been hearing some sporadic reports from different officials in McLennan County that there has been some sporadic damage out in China Spring. And if you are in the China Springs, Spiegelville area, Crawford to Valley Mills, you don't need to stay in your tornado safe room. This is not an imminent tornado producer, at least at the current time, but this is still a potentially dangerous storm that is moving your way. So if you're trying to go out, especially around the China Spring area, and check the potential damage that first storm may have caused, you have about 15 minutes and probably even less than that before the next round of heavy rain and potentially some hail moves in. And of course, we talk about it a lot. Lightning can strike 15 miles away from a thunderstorm. So this thunderstorm in Valley Mills could potentially produce a lot of lightning in China Spring, even though there is no sort of rain ongoing in China Spring right now. And just to kind of drive my point home, this is the current lightning with that thunderstorm that is currently centered over Valley Mills, but all of this lightning stretches from Clifton down to Crawford and into Coryell City and actually into China Spring and Golson right now. So Golson and China Spring, you're in the all clear from that first tornado warned storm, but you are absolutely not in the clear to go outside and check any sort of damage. One thing that we are going to be seeing in just a couple of moments as this first storm kind of pulls away from McLennan County, the National Weather Service is going to be trimming this tornado warning, and pretty quickly because of that second storm following behind. Again, we don't want there to be any sort of confusion. The tornadic part of this thunderstorm is near and north of West. There's the update right there. But notice we now have this observed tag. The box outline turned to white. That means we have indications someone has spotted a tornado with this storm. Now, this tornado warning has been trimmed and only includes far northern McLennan County. So that second storm, it's not tornadic right now. It is not even severe, but there's a lot of lightning and a lot of heavy rain. And we have seen at least some rotation with this over the past couple of moments that I do want to zoom down in on. You know, we've been talking about it all morning, this broad scale rotation. And this is another one of those broadly rotating thunderstorms that is moving right across Valley Mills right now. Crawford, you know, just about 45 minutes to an hour ago, we saw that first thunderstorm move through, and now we have another big one moving in. Same thing for China Spring, another big thunderstorm that is about to push its way on through. And even though this is not a rotating or very strongly rotating thunderstorm right now, we still do have some very strong winds on the front side of the system. So right as it moves in, without pretty much any warning, this thunderstorm will start to really increase those wind wind gusts potentially to about 40 to maybe 50 miles per hour. So if you are in the China Spring area, you're checking some damage, do not go outside just yet. Stay inside until that second thunderstorm rolls through. Now, outside of far northern McLennan County, there's West right there, moving towards the Hill and McLennan County line. There's Leroy and there's Torres, where we had that confirmed report of a tornado. This is still potentially ongoing. West, I think you're in the clear. I would stay in your house. Don't go outside and try to check damage just yet. But I think in the community of West, along and west of I-35 in northern McLennan County, it is safe to come out of your tornado safe room. If you're in Torres, if you're in Cottonwood, if you're moving into Hill County, we're talking about Hohen or Byrom, right along Highway or FM 1 or 306, you need to be in your tornado safe places right now. And again, this is moving mostly out of McLennan County and moving mostly into Hill County. And again, this is an observed tornado. At least at one point, it was on the ground. It could potentially still be on the ground right now. The track box, the time that this will arrive, we're talking less than 10 minutes in Penelope, Malone at 1:15, Pelham at 1:23, and near the community of Emmett at 1:24. Moving northeastward, so it's going to move at about 30-35 miles per hour. So you have a little bit of time to get to your tornado safe room, but not much in Penelope, not much in Malone, Pelham. You have a little bit more time as well. Again, the lowest, most interior portion of your house, as far away from windows and doors as you can be. Bathroom is one of the greatest places to be because you have a lot of piping in there, although some bathrooms are, right next to the outside. We don't want that. If that's not an option for you, then of course we have an interior closet or an interior hallway. Interior is the big keyword there. A couple of just to do a quick reset, again, the storm chaser from one of the CBS stations up in Dallas, CBS 11, saying Check Hall Road is where that tornado crossed over just a couple of moments ago. Just about a minute ago in Check Hall Road. So if that sounds familiar to you and you're in northern McLennan County, close to the west area, that is where that tornado has crossed over. And again, it's not potentially the best radar view that we have, but that strong rotation is still showing up. And instead of it being broader, it is a little bit tighter. So let's zoom in. We just got another radar scan. Give me just 1 second. Saying it's still on the ground. So we're getting storm spotter confirmation that this tornado is active and ongoing, occurring right now near the city of, or just to the east of West and moving its way towards the northeast, now almost entirely into Hill County. Penelope, you are under immediate tornado threat. 1:08 is when this tornado will arrive. And again, I'm saying tornado because we have confirmation that a tornado is on the ground, actively on the ground, moving its way northeastward. And I do want to see if we can have, there is potentially a little bit of a debris signature showing up right here. That would be the debris signature if it were actually one. Sometimes this product, if it's a very weak signature, it kind of doesn't really show up well defined. But if there was a tornado really lofting a lot of debris into the atmosphere, that is exactly where it would be. It is now near Cottonwood Road, FM 2114, approaching Penelope. So if you are in the community of Penelope, this tornado is bearing down on you right now. If you are in Malone, this tornado will be bearing down on you within the next 10 minutes. Get into your tornado safe room and stay there until we give you that all clear. If you are in the community of Hubbard, this storm is most likely going to miss you just to the northeast, but be prepared to move into your tornado safe room if you're around Hubbard. And if we tell you to get into your tornado safe room quickly, you want to make sure you can do that in just a couple of moments. Now, again, we are kind of entering into a more rural location across central Texas and eastern Hill County. So if you're kind of in the in-between areas, in between Malone, Penelope, and Hubbard, you also want to be in your tornado safe room as well. Just because we're calling out the city doesn't mean that you are immune to seeing this. A tornado is not just going to move right through a city. It's going to move through, some of the open fields out there as well. well. We're talking about County Road 3304, FM 2114, FM 308, County Road 3242, County Road 3366, although that's a little bit off to the south. Again, Malone under immediate tornado threat. Penelope, immediate tornado threat as well. We have heard it has been on the ground for at least about 5 minutes, could potentially be weakening a little bit. The radar signature is potentially weakening just a touch, but we have had spotter confirmation that a tornado is on the ground in parts of Hill County. Brady?
Yeah, Sean, you were showing that debris signature, and it's not screaming anything just really huge, but what we look at this product is it's helping us kind of see different stuff other than raindrops, and you see these kind of orangish colors. Now, it flared up around the China Spring area, so this is where our visual clues help. So we've had reports of some damage in China Spring, reports of likely a tornado touching down. You can see those yellows and oranges there. This is kind of roughly, I had to draw it freehand, roughly the track that this storm has been moving, but watch that kind of orangish yellow area stay right along that track. So, and it even flared up a little bit more. Now, this is a delayed product, so this takes a radar scan and then has to post-process it some, so it's typically late. So you can see, Penelope, you're right in the path of where there's likely some debris getting thrown. The other thing, when it happens in rural areas, there's not as many houses, it's more tree limbs, it's stuff like that, so we're not throwing big stuff in the sky, so it gets a little harder to get a real great view when we're looking at that. But again, more and more pieces to the puzzle that says, hey, you need to be taking precautions. Folks, in Penelope, you likely have a tornado on the ground right now. Here's Highway 171. So this is connecting Hubbard and Malone. You live anywhere in there, FM 2114, County Road 3304, FM 308. That's between Penelope and Malone. That's kind of the area where we're really worried about this potential right in here. So that's a look at the reflectivity. Now let's look at the velocity. So this again broadened a little bit, so that's good news, but there's still significant rotation that's probably passing over Penelope right now. Again, from Malone to Penelope, anywhere in the southern parts of Hill County, that's where we're worried about this storm and that rotation that's moving through. But again, we've had reports of a tornado touching down in Tours from McLennan County Sheriffs. We've had several reports in around the China Spring area from storm spotters, citizens, of seeing at least a funnel cloud and some damage reports in the China Spring area. So everything's showing us that this radar indicated tornado has had a path of touching down and moving through. So again, that's the storm. Let me take the lightning. Well, let me show you the lightning on these. As Sean has told you, this is the only warned storm right now, but again, that secondary one is definitely going to pack a little punch. But the current warning runs until 1:15, and we'll have the update what the National Weather Service decides to do here in just a few minutes. Sean?
I fully expect them to continue this warning because, again, the signature, the wind velocity signature, it's if you don't know what you're looking for, it probably doesn't scream imminent tornado, but we have had multiple storm spotters report back to the National Weather Service that there is an ongoing tornado. So we're ignoring the wind velocity signature and just saying this is a tornado on the ground. Byrom is where this the spotter was recently, and just this last radar scan, it's kind of a half scan, but here you go, Byrom all the way up towards Penelope. We've been saying Penelope a lot because this is bearing down on you imminently if it is not there already, and we've really seen that rotation tighten up. So all the indications are there that this tornado is still on the ground, and the indications continue to show us that not only is this tornado on the ground, but it has potentially been on the ground now for about the last 10 to near 15 minutes. So no signs of stopping right now. Report coming through from the Hill County Sheriff's Office, tornado on the ground, FM 2114 and FM 309. We have been talking about those two roads now for the past couple of minutes, and exactly what we've been saying. There is a tornado on the ground bearing down on the town of Penelope in eastern Hill County right now. If you are in the city of Malone, or especially if you are between Malone and Penelope, or if you are between Malone and Hubbard on Highway 171, you need to be in your tornado safe room immediately. immediately, ASAP. Lowest floor of your house, most interior portion of your house, bathroom, hallway, closet are some of the best places to be. And this is not one of those storms. It may look like you have some time to potentially try to get out of the way of the storm. You don't. This is a faster moving storm. This is moving at about 35 miles per hour. Tornadoes don't follow roads. They just go right across the landscape. And we're continuing to see this big tornado signature showing up near the community of Penelope. It's a strengthening tornado signature. We still have reports of a tornado on the ground from the Hill County Sheriff's Office, FM 2114 and FM 309. We also have had an extension of the tornado warning. We've been talking about now that it's been confirmed, we have this kind of white box kind of outlining it. An observed tornado moving right into the town of Penelope right now. 2 p.m. is when this next tornado warning goes to. And just to kind of back up a little bit, if you are in West or in Ross, kind of surrounding or in the surrounding areas, you are okay. You are in the all clear to get out of your tornado safe room. However, we still want you to stay inside because there is another thunderstorm that is moving its way into far western McLennan County, pretty much very close to Lake Whitney, just to the south of Lake Whitney, moving its way into Bosque County, very close to Valley Mills and also western Hill County. So just because this first tornado warned storm has moved away, we still do have this other strong thunderstorm, which is lightning charged, producing a lot of heavy rain, a lot of lightning, and even some hail that is moving its way in right now. Still do have an observed tornado. Storm spotters have confirmed very close to the town of Penelope. I'm going to switch over to our debris tracker. And again, we're kind of in the middle of a little bit of a radar hole, but we've kind of seen this persistent signature now just to the east of West. This is just before 1 p.m. If there was a tornado, which all reports indicate there was, it would have been right here. And now kind of watch that area of kind of the brighter colors. We're talking the yellows and the greens. You can see that that signature is still showing up and is now moving through Penelope. So if there was a debris signature, it's not a very strong one, but we are seeing some debris get lofted into the atmosphere. County Road 3307, County Road 3304, FM 308, FM 2114, and also Highway 141 or 171 rather. If you are between Malone and Hubbard, you need to get into your tornado safe room immediately. This tornado is bearing down right now. We have just received a report from some of those storm spotters out there that the tornado may have lifted briefly, but there is still a wall cloud, and a rotating wall cloud most likely. That rotating wall cloud could very easily produce a tornado. We have seen the tornado move through the town of Penelope or very, very close to it. So again, if you are along 171 from Malone down to Hubbard, that tornado safe room is exactly where you want to be right now. FM 744, as we push a little bit farther into parts of Hill County, we're getting very close to Navarro County at this point too. So if you know anybody that's in Navarro County and especially right near Highway 31. I'm going to put a track box on this and kind of show you the path that this could take. This is, again, potentially producing a tornado right now, could be imminently producing a tornado within a couple of moments. It has a history of producing a tornado and is making a beeline up towards Corsicana. Pelham 122, Emmett 124, Barry 142, and Corsicana. That is out of Central Texas's viewing area. But if you do know anybody that is in Corsicana, if you have a family member that is maybe been traveling to Corsicana and is about to come back, you need to let them know that this tornado warned storm, which has had a history of producing tornadoes and has been showing strong rotation for the last 2 hours, it is on the way in about 40 minutes. So get on the phone, tell your loved ones this is the track that this potential tornado is going to take, moving very close to I-45 within the next about 45 minutes. We do have some more photos coming in. We've been talking about the tornadoes, and now you're going to be actually able to see one. Brady?
Yeah, Sean, we don't take too much time on this, but just to give you some of the ground truth, this is a view from Waco Regional Airport looking north. That's in that same area where we've seen the debris kind of signature show up and some of that damage. We've also got, this is in Worthing Bend Road in China Spring. You can see what's likely a tornado Can't see the bottom of it due to the clouds, but you can see another good view of that strong rotation. This is another picture in the China Spring area of that likely tornado on the ground. And then one more video here, and this is in the China Spring area. You can see the video that they're watching, that is pretty significant funnel, and again, likely tornado there on the ground. So again, this is from a while back, but this is to give you a little bit of the ground truth with what Sean's seeing on the radar of, again, likely a tornado continuing now into parts of the Hill County area and eventually into Navarro County. Sean?
Okay, so we're still watching, and this is the biggest radar signature that we have seen over the past 2 hours that this storm is producing a tornado. This is the best signature that has come out as it's about to cross over Highway 171, that a tornado is either active or immediate from this storm as it crosses over 171. But I want to turn your attention a little bit back towards the west as well. West of West, Golson to China Spring. We just had that thunderstorm move through. We've heard of damage reports coming out of the China Spring, Golson area, and it is time. If you're outside, if your family members are outside checking potential damage, they should be inside. And if they're not inside and you're kind of in this western, northern McLennan County area, they need to be inside immediately. Lightning charged thunderstorm. It's not producing a tornado. It's not rotating like a tornadic storm would. However, we are seeing enough signs that this is producing, of course, the lightning, but also a lot of hail as well. And I do want to zoom out a little bit just to kind of give you an overview as to how lightning charged these thunderstorms are. This is the current lightning going on over the past 15 minutes, and you can barely see half of Bosque County just based on how much lightning is in this thunderstorm. And also, I want to point out, here is that tornadic thunderstorm near Penelope moving towards Hubbard, crossing over 171. There's the lightning. That is a county or two over in the far fringes of parts of Limestone County too. So if you have been impacted by this tornadic storm, especially up and down I-35 in northern McLennan County near west, that first storm has pulled away, but this second storm is now pushing in. It is not super strong. Could be producing a lot of heavy rain and some hail as well, but the plethora of lightning will make it extremely dangerous to be outside and check on any sort of potential damage. There could be a severe thunderstorm warning coming for that thunderstorm as well, but this is still the main show that we have been seeing. That tornadic signature passing from Penelope now towards near the Malone area, and within about the next 15 or so minutes, this storm will be crossing over from Hill County into Navarro County and could potentially be making a more of a beeline approach towards the city of Corsicana. If it's on its current path, it's going to parallel or potentially cross over Highway 31 as this storm approaches Corsicana. Again, this is an observed tornado. Multiple storm spotters have at one point seen a tornado. We've seen the images. We've shown you back when the storm was back at the McLennan County Airport. But here's some good news. This storm has been by itself all day long so far, but finally something is changing. We're seeing some thunderstorms try to develop just on the south side of that system near the Hubbard area, and this near Highway 31 is probably going to get ingested into this tornadic thunderstorm. Kind of a little bit of a shade of what we saw a couple of years ago in Salado, where we had that one thunderstorm that was tornadic moving its way towards Salado, and then all of a sudden we had a thunderstorm to the south kind of really dissipate and cause that tornado to weaken. So still an active, ongoing, imminent threat of a tornado in eastern parts of Hill County, now crossing over Highway 171, now crossing through Malone. But this thunderstorm from Hubbard moving up into Malone could potentially cause this to weaken, which would be great news because it is making a beeline towards Corsicana. Again, Navarro County is just out of Central Texas's viewing area, but if you know anybody that is in western Navarro County near the Blooming Grove area, near Highway 31, stretching up towards Corsicana, make sure that you give your friends, your family, your loved ones a call. Make sure that they are aware that this system is on the way. Real quick, I do want to show you this one thunderstorm again. We've been talking about how lightning packed it has been on the western side of McLennan County. Still no severe thunderstorm warning attached to it. It could be producing up to about nickel-sized hail. But again, it just goes to show you that we are not done with the severe weather threat just yet. Brady?
Yeah, and kind of speaking to that, first I want to show you a picture here. This is around the west area. So Lexi Shiner sent this picture looking towards Cottonwood Road, and that's looks like a pretty significant tornado there, more than just what you would call a funnel cloud. We can see pretty much down to the ground. So another bit of ground truth with that. The other thing we want to talk to you about is the wider view. So we've been focused on this storm that started down in Coryell County, moved across McLennan County, now in Hill County, but you see this area under red. A tornado watch is in effect. And the reason that is that this one area is not the only area we're worried about. The atmosphere is kind of primed for the chance of storms, and I do want to take a wide view because we're already starting to see more activity that would be out near the dry line. We've got a couple showers and thunderstorms in southwestern San Saba County, southeastern kind of near the Bend area, just off to the west of Lampasas. But I also want you to point out, it's nothing all that impressive. I'm going to stop this real quick so you can kind of see a little better. Some of these little pockets that are popping up, the atmosphere is very unstable, and we've had what we call a cap, or a layer of stable air, sitting over central Texas. But as the heat builds in, that dry line gets closer, it could cause that to break more. And you can see down in Williamson County, Bell County, McLennan County, we had a shower just passed over our KWTX studios. Nothing anywhere near worrying now, but these are more signs that, hey, we're going to have to watch this straight through the afternoon. Again, this watch lasts for a while, and it's one of those tricky kind of forecasts where if a thunderstorm can get going and get through the stable air, that little layer, extremely unstable conditions will allow these storms to blow up rather quickly. So the big story right now is northern parts of central Texas. Again, moving out of Bosque into Hill County. The confirmed tornado that's moving out of Hill County into Navarro County. There comes a new severe thunderstorm warning. Sean's been talking about that one for a while. And then all this activity we're going to be watching over the next several hours of potential development. Sean?
Yeah, and I want to show you guys the hail situation because you saw that severe thunderstorm warning box just pop up behind Brady. That is Bosque and Hill County for that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, not a tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning for the potential of hail. And there's a couple of different spots that are showing up on radar for having potentially up to about $half size hail. FM, that was 1713, FM 1713, and Whitney, near Whitney, between Whitney and Huron. There's Lake Whitney right there. We have Lakewood Harbor as well. These two kind of little hail cores could be potentially producing up to about $half size hail. The worst of the hail may stay north of Whitney proper, but I would still, if you are around Lake Whitney, in Whitney proper, stay inside until this thunderstorm passes through. We could also see some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well, and especially over an open waterway, open lake area around Lake Whitney. That's not good because the wind gust potential is usually a little bit more enhanced when you have this flat open terrain like you would see normally on a lake. We also have a couple of more non-severe hail cores that are showing up. This one just to the northeast of Valley Mills. This could be producing up to about, I would say, nickel-sized hail, probably a little bit lower than that. And right up County Road 3550 towards Smith's Bend, another little hail core moving its way towards Aquila. This could also be producing nickel to maybe up to about quarter-size hail at the current time. We still do have that ongoing tornado warning. Couple of things just to kind of reset a little bit here. That ongoing tornado warning is still in place for far eastern Hill County and into Navarro County. And notice that the box has changed from having that white outline back to just having a regular old red border. That means that we have lost the confirmation that a tornado is on the ground. So we have had reports and confirmations, not only from emergency managers, but also from storm spotters as well, that a tornado has been on the ground and has been moving its way through McLennan County and moved its way pretty much right up into Penelope and Malone. But now we've kind of lost that radar signature or lost the ground truth. But the tornado warning is still continuing. Again, that goes until 2 p.m. for parts of Hill County, far eastern Hill County, and then stretching into Navarro County as well, kind of splitting in between the Frost area near Highway 22 and Highway 31, which stretches up towards Corsicana, although they both do. It's going to be in this area that we have that tornado potential. Again, there is more thunderstorm activity ongoing off to the storm south, and I would expect within the next 10 minutes that this thunderstorm is going to ingest this kind of crud, the rain that is off to the south, and that should cause the thunderstorm to either dissipate or potentially significantly weaken. So again, we are keeping a very keen eye on that. That is very slowly but steadily moving its way out of the Central Texas viewing area. We also do have this severe thunderstorm warning for Bosque and Hill County. I just showed you that hail core, especially around the Lake Whitney and Whitney areas, up to about $half sized hail. This is not a very well organized thunderstorm right now. If there were going to be any sort of tornadic something or other, it would be closer to the McLennan, Bosque and Hill County lines. That is where it would be, but we're not seeing anything that indicates that right now. This severe thunderstorm warning for Bosque and Hill County goes until 2:15 for the potential of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and also up to 1.25-inch hail. That is just about $half size. And as we zoom in and show you a little bit of the estimates, the hail cores, this one that is just to the northern side, there's Lakeside Village right there, just on the northern side of Lake Whitney, that is where the biggest hailstones are showing up. And this is another one of those time-lagged products, and we'll likely see that already crossing over kind of the Lake Whitney area, moving its way deeper into eventually Hill County. We also have that other hail core that's between Huron and Whitney, moving its way towards the northeast as well. A little bit farther down the line, as we get a little bit closer towards McLennan County, we do also still have these two hail cores, one that is just to the southwest of Aquila, and then also this one by Valley Mills that is moving its way towards the Aquila area. This is a lot lower hail size, probably only up to about quarter size as it pushes its way on through. I think, I don't know, Brady, can I send it over to you for a reset? Okay, let's send it over to Brady for a reset. He'll let you know what's going on across the rest of Central.
Yeah, so again, right now we're kind of getting to where the tornado warning is getting into the edge of our News 10 viewing area. As we get from Healdon to Navarro County, we've got the severe thunderstorm warning. Right now, all the worst is to the north. Here over the next couple of hours, we're going to be watching down here to the southwest. So atmosphere is probably pretty stabilized across our north and northwestern counties, but the problem is we still have very unstable air that's sitting across the majority of central Texas. And again, we've got the dry line that's working in. Nothing severe from any of these storms, or let me see if there's not even lightning really in any of this activity. So this is kind of the area of kind of redevelopment we're going to be watching. So if you live anywhere out in, from Lampasas westward, Evant southwestward, again, nothing at all that we're worried about right now, but we've still got the time that we're going to be here watching. Today's a day that you need to be weather aware. It showed, the tornado. This isn't just an interesting thing with weather. Weather can always sneak up and get all of us. Today was a day that really the tornado threat looked to be way up to our north. But what we were watching is more storms firing up along the dry line this afternoon. This first storm got going as we had enough upper level support to really cause enough rotation in the air that's got these going. So again, Sean's been covering these two thunderstorms really closely. Again, as the afternoon goes on, we'll continue to watch the rest of this activity. Again, to keep in mind as you're planning outdoor activities the rest of the afternoon, it's not a guarantee we may not see another strong storm the rest of the day, just depending on how the atmosphere recovers, but it's a day to be weather aware. So if you can't be by your TV, our free KWTX weather app is a great resource, kwtx.com. We will have our team here watching everything for the potential of redevelopment as the afternoon rolls on. And again, that watch runs until 6 o'clock. We've got confirmed damage from tornadoes in and around China Spring, up just south of the city of West. And again, that tornado warning continues from Hill County up into Navarro County. But again, right now, those two thunderstorms we're watching. What can we see the rest of the day? Now we just got to wait and see. Sean?
Yeah, and just
here real quick, before we get to Sean, look at this here. So here's some of this is what we've heard a lot of folks say. It's the kind of fence damage that caused a lot of problems, but you can see all these fences kind of spread out in all different directions. So that's another indication that at least a weak tornado, and now I say air quotes weak, that's still strong enough to knock down a whole bunch of fences around there. But it looks like all the houses seem like they're in okay shape. Probably some tree damage as well. But again, this was in the Brentwood neighborhood of China Spring where a lot of that damage was. So again, this is stuff that's already passed through, and we're still watching that storm. Sean?
One thing I do want to kind of point out is Brady was talking about the potential for redevelopment west of I-35 and whether or not it is or isn't. The signs are that something could potentially pop back off again, because there is the dry line right there, and you can actually see, I'm going to zoom it down, these are cumulus clouds that are trying to form along the dry line. There's enough convergence that we have those clouds forming, but there's not enough strong convergence to get the thunderstorms building up in the atmosphere and getting to that strong storm status. So these clouds are just kind of clouds. They're just hanging out there. At some point, especially with a lot of sunshine trying to peek out from the clouds, that could help to destabilize the atmosphere again and give us another round of thunderstorms. Although the good news is that these thunderstorms that are trying to redevelop back towards the southwest, this one that is trying to get going along the Llano and also into San Saba County line, again, trying to get going is the operative word. Everything is kind of moving into an air mass that is kind of stable-ish. So we just have to keep a very close watch on how things will evolve over the next couple of hours. And I want to zoom down to our local radar view. Oh, yeah, look at that. 84 degrees in Brownwood outside right now. That is that's of course with all the sunshine that's been in place. But even if some thunderstorms get going over here, look at how cool those temperatures, and I say cool in air quotes because, I mean, 70 degrees with a lot of humidity is not super cool, but this is a little bit more of a stabilized atmosphere with these rounds of thunderstorms that have been moving through. But also kind of notice that this has been kind of this persistent line, this kind of area that we've really seen those thunderstorms form this morning, and they're trying to form again. And you can even actually see, just as I've been talking, that these thunderstorms are still really trying to get going, especially with a 79-degree temperature in San Saba right now. That is definitely storm fuel, but we're looking at Gatesville at 70 degrees. So as these storms that are around Lampasas County try to get going, they may hold on, they may strengthen a little bit more, but as they continue to march northeastward, this is a little bit of an overworked atmosphere. So the severe weather threat is going to continue not only for the rest of the afternoon today, but we also do have a continued risk of severe thunderstorms also tomorrow and Sunday as well. So this is a weekend to stay weather aware no matter where you're going, no matter what day it is too. A little bit different threats depending on which day it is. So we could very well be again doing this tomorrow with more tornadoes, more severe thunderstorms as well. These are the thunderstorms that are forming across the western part of our area, or again, attempting to form across the western parts of our area. You see they're really not starting to get going, and I do believe, no I don't, here's the lightning. So lightning is now on. There's those thunderstorms that were really blossoming across Bosque and Coryell County. These thunderstorms are just starting to get going, but they're not producing a ton of lightning, at least right now. This thunderstorm, though, has definitely caught my eye down very close to Cherokee, which is on the southern side of San Saba County. I'm going to switch to a little bit of a different view. This is not a view I would normally show many folks here on air, but it's definitely something that can help kind of gauge where we are in this whole entire process of thunderstorm activity blossoming yet again. And give me just 1 second. It's gonna take a moment or two for me to really get to where I want to show you what I've been seeing. Here we go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. So you see how over the past this is a 30-minute loop, that these thunderstorms, they're starting to blossom, but notice how there's this one little spot right down here in far southwestern San Saba County that's a little bit of a brighter color, the yellow, compared to the rest of it. That could be a developing updraft, which could break through the cap, and that could actually allow that thunderstorm to blossom a little bit more. We're also kind of seeing the same thing happen right along the Colorado River. This is indicating how cold the cloud tops are on infrared satellite, and the colder the cloud tops, the higher they are in the atmosphere. This could be another developing updraft that's moving its way towards the Lomita area. So just another reason to stay weather aware is that we could potentially see another round of thunderstorms push their way on through soon. But just to kind of give you another broad overview as to what's going on.
Warning up for that secondary storm.
Okay.
Tornado warning.
Well, that is why we're going to give a quick reset, because we now have a new tornado warning for that first thunderstorm or second thunderstorm. Remember, we were talking about how this first tornadic storm moved its way out, but now this next one was trying to get going, and it has. We now have a tornado warning in effect until 2:15. Not only the tornadic potential for Bosque and Hill County, but we also do have the potential for up to $half sized hail as well. We'll stop the radar for a second, get you a little bit more of a close-up view on where the rotation is, and that is some pretty strong rotation right there. So very close to the Aquila. If you are in Aquila, you have about 10-ish minutes to get into your tornado safe room. There's a lot of contamination on the radar scene right now, so it looks like it's directly overhead, but it's likely a little bit farther towards the southwest, a little bit closer towards the McLennan County line. Now this rotation, again, another one of these strongly rotating thunderstorms that is showing up. Most likely this storm will miss west. If you're on the western side of west of McLennan County, or western side of I-35, I would still get in your tornado safe room. If you're in west or you're on the eastern side of west, you are probably okay, but this is another one of those heads up, keep an eye on this storm. If it does strengthen, it could potentially maybe make a little bit more of an eastward jog, but the most immediate threat is, of course, Aquila. Within the next 5 to 10 minutes, this tornado warned storm is going to be moving directly overhead. A little bit farther into Hill County, Abbott, 1:49 is when this tornadic portion of the thunderstorm will arrive, and if this storm continues on this path, it could very well move very close to the city of Malone, which just potentially saw a tornado a couple of moments ago. There is that remnant tornado warned storm that has now crossed over into Navarro County. That is continuing to push its way up towards Corsicana. So again, if you know anybody in Corsicana, make sure they have a heads up that a tornado warned storm is on the way. But this is right now the biggest threat to central Texas. Again, tornado warning has been issued for parts of Bosque and Hill County, very close to the Aquila area. That tornado warning goes until 2:15, so we're just about 40-ish minutes for this tornado warning. If you're in Hillsborough, you are also included in this tornado warning. I'm going to see if I can take off the radar here so you can actually see where that box extends to. And actually that box is, once I get my zooming skills down. There you go. That tornado warned box, it goes pretty much right from Aquila. There is right there the county line between Bosque and Hill County, and that stretches to the I-35 east-west split. It stretches up to Hillsborough, and it also goes pretty much right on up towards Ellis County as well. So this is another one of those very dangerous storms that may or may not be producing a tornado. We don't have a solid confirmation, because this is another one of those rain-wrapped tornadic storms that we may not be able to get a good view on, although this one could potentially be a little bit better of a view to hopefully see a tornado if it were to form. Now, we don't want you to go outside and check to see if there's a tornado. We want you to stay inside, stay safe. Don't do that. And if you are, just if it looks like the tornado, if there is a tornado on the ground and it looks like it's not moving, it's moving towards you. Again, we do not want you to go outside and, check this out. But if you ever see a tornado and it looks like it's not moving, that means it's moving towards you. So just a little bit of a word to the wise right there. Again, the tornado warning continues for, this is all Hill County for 2:15. I said it was Bosque County too. It was kind of straddling that line, but Bosque County is not under this tornado warning. The severe thunderstorm warning box, you see all that orange, there you go, just about to say, it's about to be trimmed. Now, for the Whitney area, Laguna Park, you are not under the threat of this tornado. It's really Aquila, stretching up towards the Abbott area. And I do think this storm is pretty much going to ride between FM 310 and FM 1304. Could potentially go right down FM 1304 too, right towards Abbott and potentially up towards Bynum as well. But I do also want to urge a little bit of caution. If you are up towards Hillsborough, you are under a tornado warning. So take the storm very seriously. At the bare minimum for the communities surrounding and into Hillsborough, we could see up to $half sized hail. So that's on the northern side of the storm. The southern side of the storm, that tornadic rotation right near Aquila, it's kind of straddling almost. Or it looks like it's straddling the Hill County and the McLennan County line, but at least right now, the tornadic part of this thunderstorm is staying almost entirely in Hill County, very close to Aquila. Just to kind of back up a little bit, this is out of our area, but we have been talking about this. The Navarro County emergency manager said that there is a tornado on the ground in western Navarro County near Brushy Prairie, near FM 744. So again, this is out of our area and continuing to pull away, but folks in Corsicana, near and north of Corsicana, going to be under a tornado threat within the next about 30 minutes to an hour. It's still just this one storm. That, you know, the second storm behind the first one that is continuing to cause concern. Now, China Spring and Golson, I know I said a couple of moments ago that we don't want you to go outside and check damage because this thunderstorm was right on your doorstep. And, you know, it kind of still is right on your doorstep, not necessarily the tornadic part of it, not necessarily the hail and the rain part of it, but the lightning part of it. It's still very, very, very close to your area as the storm continues to just march its way northeastward. Again, lightning can strike up to 15 miles away from a parent thunderstorm. So even though the storm is pulling away, if you're out checking damage in the China Spring and Golson area, we call it a bolt from the blue. It happens sometimes. It's no rhyme or reason to it, but lightning is still very much a major threat. You see in the bottom left of your screen right there, that is FM 1304. On our TxDOT cameras moving towards Abbott. Look, if there is going to be a tornado, this is FM 1304 and Abbott. This is looking towards the north. This Skycam is almost exactly where a potential tornado would be in about 5 to 10 minutes, moving right down FM 1304. This tornadic storm has just moved through Aquila, and there you see FM 1304 right there, moving its way up towards the Abbott area. So we're going to keep a very close watch on that Skycam because that could potentially have a tornado moving through within a couple of moments. And you can also see the truck stop off in the distance there too. So if you are familiar with this area, this is the danger zone right now, from Aquila up to Abbott for FM 1304 and then eventually up into the I-35 corridor part of Hill County as well. Put another track box on it for you so you guys know exactly where we're talking about when the storm is moving its way northeastward, about 35-ish miles per hour. The Abbott area, you have less than 10 minutes to get into your tornado safe room. And again, we are streaming on multiple platforms. So if you go into your tornado safe room, the lowest, most interior portion of your house, away from windows and doors, bathrooms, closets, hallway, as long as it's far away from the outside walls, you can take your phone in there. You can turn your TV up to its loudest volume so you can hear us still speak. But if you take your smartphone in, you're watching us on Facebook, on our free KWTX weather app. Right now it is 1:41. This is a little bit time lagged once it gets through the internet pipes and gets to your phone. Just know that 1:49 is the arrival time in Abbott, and Menlo very close to 1:43, very imminent for that tornado arrival. Bynum 2 o'clock. So you are very close to needing to be in your tornado safe room. And if you are between Abbott, Bynum, and also just a little bit south of Hillsborough, kind of in this area right here, if this is where you reside, you're in your tornado safe rooms right now, or you should be getting to your tornado safe rooms as soon as possible. We're starting to see still the rain on that TxDOT camera, but I kind of want to point out, if it's where I think it is, that camera could potentially start to dry out. And if anyone, just in case we're missing it, if you see the rain kind of come to a little bit of a close on that Skycam, let one of us know just in case we miss it, because that, I think, right before the tornado moves in, that is potentially going to be something that happens. So we're keeping a keen eye on that too. And again, just kind of a little bit of a quick reset. This is moving away from... Okay. Just as a kind of a reset, Again, we're still watching for the potential of some more storms to redevelop. That one thunderstorm that we're watching down in San Saba County has thankfully stayed very much subsevere and not even really getting going, which is great because we have the threat for some more storms this afternoon. But if they're struggling to get going, we're just hoping it'll stay that way. Zooming back down into again, that's at least kind of the good thing with today, if there is any sort of silver lining, is we have these tornado-warned storms coming one at a time. It's not all across the area all at the same time. So we're very, very happy about that. But this tornado-warned storm, again, right near Aquila, now just to the east of Aquila proper, riding right down FM 1304. That rotation is continuing to increase. And as we switch it over to our rotation products, the greens and the reds close to one another, there you go right there. It is definitely broad rotation because if you kind of think about it, the rotation starts just east of Aquila and goes almost towards Abbott, but this is very strong, broad-ish rotation. It's getting tighter, and that is a bad sign. That is a sign that we could see a tornado form imminently if there is not one on the ground already. There really is no reports of anybody that is around that thunderstorm right now, so we don't really have a lot of spotters on it. So we're just going off of the radar indications of what we're seeing. But again, you see that there, oh, that was a nasty stroke of lightning right there that we just caught on that TxDOT camera down by Abbott off in the distance. We are looking northbound, and if there was going to be a tornado within this thunderstorm, it is rolling right down FM 1304. So we are in a perfect position to see potentially something cross over that sky cam. Hopefully it doesn't. Abbott, Menlo, Abbott, Aquila, Menlo, Chat, Bynum, even the Vaughn area, stay inside tornado safe rooms. That is exactly where you need to be. We're talking about maybe 10 to, I would say, 15 minutes for this potential tornado to cross over Abbott, probably closer to about 10 minutes from now, and even less if the storm continues on its current path. When we're talking about this, the wind velocities, I want to click on the storm. This is the strongest velocity signature that we have seen just yet. Now, the radar that is capturing this thunderstorm is not that far away up to the north, just to the south of Fort Worth. So we're getting a pretty decent look at the storm, and radar indicated wind velocities. This is what the radar is estimating is going on, or actually seeing what's going on within this thunderstorm. Those wind velocities were close to about 80 miles per hour, and that is just on the front side of the storm. You see kind of right there that the rotation is a little tight. You got the reds and the greens close to one another. That could be the signs that a tornado is very, very close to moving its way on through and potentially strengthening as it moves its way towards Abbott. So if you are in west, you are on, you're safe from the tornado part of this thunderstorm, but if you're in the west area right now, I would still stay inside. I would absolutely not travel up I-35 towards the Abbott area right now. If you're in Hillsborough traveling southward or thinking about traveling southward, absolutely not, because this tornado is going to, if it is on the ground, cross directly over I-35 near and just north of the Abbott area, right around FM 1304. Again, we have the Skycam, the TxDOT camera on the side of your screen right there that is in almost the perfect position to see where this tornadic thunderstorm is. Now, if you're in west, again, don't drive to the north, but I would also stay inside as well. Not only do we have that lightning threat, but we also still have a little bit of a strong wind gust threat, because all the wind in this thunderstorm is pushing its way northward into the storm system. So we got those south winds, and it is going to get very, very, very windy for at least a brief few moments, with 40 to near 50 mile per hour wind gusts near and north of west, stretching up towards Abbott. We have not seen anything right now outside any indications that there's tornado spotters or storm spotters that are on this thunderstorm, which means that, again, we're just kind of having to go off of what the radar is telling us. And the radar is telling us, and we've been looking at the environment, that this is definitely a storm that could potentially produce a tornado without too much warning. We're going to do a quick little reset and show you what's going on. Again, we don't have terribly much going on outside of this one thunderstorm, but we still do have a threat for thunderstorms for the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, Sean, so I want to give a broad view. We're not going to take away from that storm very much. We know this is on the northern edge of our viewing area, but the reason we're watching, we're live on TV right now and all across all of our platforms, is this tornado warning that's in southern Hill County. The other tornado warning, this is the one that produced the tornado that went through China Spring, also near just around the Tours area. Still a confirmed tornado there. Nothing confirmed with the one in Hill County, but still a dangerous storm crossing I-35. A tornado watch is in effect for all of central Texas. That runs until 6 o'clock. And I want to give you a kind of a broad view of the radar. Sean, I'll have you right back on that close-up view of that storm here in just a second. But I want to show you kind of, if my computer will wake up here, kind of what we're watching elsewhere. So we've got more activity that has formed. This is a 2-hour loop, so you'll see activity starting to form. This is a little more near the dry line, but as we've been telling you, and Sean has mentioned, a lot of this atmosphere up here has already been kind of worked over and cooled off. So we have to kind of wait and see, but the atmosphere is at least trying to bubble up activity. So what I would tell you is elsewhere across central Texas, oh, yes, it is. All right, so you see that TxDOT camera there, a little greenish view. So we're getting some, and doesn't look like it's, we can take that full real quick if y'all want, guys. We can kind of look at it there. Yeah, so what that's kind of showing is we're getting a little sunshine in there where it's wrapping in and not seeing as much rain falling. So this would probably be imminently close to where that rotation is crossing right over I-35. So we'll get back to Sean here, who's got a closer view. Again, what I was telling you on the broad view is nothing imminent right now, but be weather aware, and we'll keep you posted as the afternoon goes on. But now back to the important stuff Sean's watching on the wall there. Sean?
Yeah, why am I telling you about a green-looking sky cam? Why is that so concerning? And that is because whenever we have a green view, that usually indicates that there's a lot of hail within a thunderstorm, and that usually, if there's a lot of hail to produce kind of this green tinge to the sky, that means that it is a very significant one. Now, we have two areas of rotation that are showing up on the wind velocities right now, one just to the north of the other. There's Menlo right there. This is the main tornadic portion of the thunderstorm that we're seeing, but is it possible that there's another one or a separate tornado that is trying to form? Well, very well could. And as we take a different look, and this is how we're going to kind of diagnose this. So this is where that other rotation was, which it could potentially, maybe, but if we're taking this kind of a broader view, this is a more of a classic supercell look. Here is the hook echo right here, so we're kind of getting a little bit of a false radar return. And right now, the latest radar scan, you can see now the strongest part of that thunderstorm is about to cross over that Abbott Skycam. I want to see if we can take that full, because the radar is only going to show us what we're telling you, what we're showing it. This is the picture that you can see, and we're hoping we're not going to see a tornado. That's we don't want that. But this storm has been moving right down FM 1304 near the Abbott area for the last about 15 minutes. It is arriving right now, I-35 and FM 1304. I sincerely hope that we are going to see absolutely nothing at all, especially with all this traffic moving on I-35. But if there is going to be a tornado, it's going to be very, very close to this area right now. And I hope it's not happening, because that is going to be a very, very, very dangerous thing, with a tornado potentially crossing over I-35. I'm not seeing anything on the cameras that indicates the wind's getting there, which is good. But at least, just judging off the radar imagery, this is 1 or 2 minutes from potentially crossing over FM 1304 in Abbott, if it's going to happen. So we're kind of in a wait and see mode. Now, as we're taking a look at this image, I do want to say, again, Abbott, if you are in your tornado safe room, or if you're not in your tornado safe room, you absolutely should be right now. This potential tornado is bearing down on you within a matter of moments. And you can see some of the trucks with their hazards on. Folks, I'm assuming, are not being able to see much of anything at all. Aquila, you are in the clear. West, you are in the clear. I still wouldn't go outside because there is still a lot of lightning with this thunderstorm. Menlo, I would say still stay inside. In between Menlo and Abbott, and of course Abbott, itself, stay indoors, far away from windows and doors. If you're watching on the KWTX weather app, if you're watching on Facebook, or if you're watching us on TV, we are just moments away from that potential tornado crossing over the road. I really hope we see absolutely nothing at all. meaning that there's nothing there. But this is potentially right where we would need to be if a tornado was actually moving through. We haven't seen much of anything, which is good. We're not seeing like a big increase in the water droplets on the sky camera, which indicates that the winds aren't really that strong right now. But yeah, this is potentially a dangerous day. And here we go. You kind of see off in the distance right there. The rain curtains are getting a little stronger. Yep. Okay. So now the Skycam view is.
He just worked over the I-35.
Yeah. Yep.
Look at the flag.
Yeah, you see the flag.
Well, no, that's not a flag. That's raindrops making the gas station look like a flag.
Yeah, if it's about to cross over I-35, if it hasn't already, again, this is very difficult to tell. Look at all the water droplets. You can see them kind of getting a little bit faster, indicating the wind speeds are increasing a little bit. You see that semi pulling over. Folks are pulling over. All right. Okay, well, the view is getting a little bit better. Which means that this is probably moving away, which is great. But man, I'm hoping this isn't coming back. You see in the bottom right of your screen, that's the wind velocity product. At least judging off of the radar imagery, this potential tornado would have crossed over I-35 already. Let me get my tracker right here for you. So this is where the potential tornado would be, and now it's on the other side of I-35. And hopefully, this is one of the absolute perfect spots to view it, because, we're talking about this storm moving right down County Road 1304. That's that right there. There's I-35. This is exactly where this tornado would have been. And as of right now, it looks like it has crossed over the I-35 corridor, and the threat is slowly going down, which is definitely great news there. We don't have any sort of ground truth or confirmation. Of course, this is a perfect Skycam view for any sort of confirmation. Could be a rain-wrapped storm, but again, that tornado warning is continuing for Hill County, now on the eastern side of Hill County, east of I-35, for the next 20 minutes or so. This tornado warning goes until 2:15 a.m. There it is on the bottom left of your screen, or bottom right of your screen right there, that tornado warning near and east of I-35 in Hill County. Again, the rotation is still pretty significant and still ongoing. Thankfully, it looks like this tornadic thunderstorm, the other one, remember I said it was going to kind of get pushed to the north by this other one. That's great, because now Corsicana not under threat of this current thunderstorm, but that first tornado warning is continuing, or this one in Hill County, until 2:15. Not only can we have that tornado potential, but we also could potentially see up to $half size hail as well. Brady?
Yeah, Sean, so a lot to keep an eye on still. Poor Sean's been on here doing this for a while, keeping an eye on these storms. So the rotation we've been watching is, again, crossing I-35. Abbott, you live there near and around I-35. Still take a break, or kind of hunker down for a little bit, give it a couple more minutes, let this pass. So what we're going to shift our attention to now is the Bynum area. Here's Highway 171. We were talking about this same area, but farther down to the southeast with tornado number 1. Again, this one, we still have not got any ground truth. We are getting a bunch of videos coming in from that first storm of a tornado on the ground. So this one has not had any, but again, as Sean showed you with the Skycam view there over I-35, that TxDOT cam, it's hard to see much with it. So again, this is what we're watching right now. And again, the area that we're watching really closely is this area just to the east of I-35. So just northeast of Abbott. It's going to work towards Highway 171. So that's going to take it near Bynum, that direction, as this activity continues to move off to the northeast. Okay, guys, can we flip over to 1 then, if you're, because I don't have, okay, cool, there we go. We're kind of switching out. Poor Sean's been here since, what, 2 o'clock in the morning or so, Sean? So give him a little bit of rest, and we've still got the rest of our team. Sean's going to continue to keep an eye on everything. But again, this is the latest view from our KWTX radar network. So let's start out wide, because we've got the one storm. I need everybody in eastern Hill County in their safe place with that, but we're going to watch out here. Now, the good news is nothing has become any organized with it. Now, it could be that this is running through more stable air, but we're going to keep a close eye on this, because we're now in that time we're hitting peak afternoon heat. We're getting some upper 70s to near 80-degree temperatures in our southern counties. All right, so let's go up here to this one. So yeah, we just got a report from the emergency management in Hill County and Bynum. Again, that area we were worried about there with this storm, that this is a potentially could be one that could produce a tornado. So we're again watching, we got a report from the Bynum area of a tornado on the ground. So again, report from the Bynum Fire Department reporting a tornado on the ground over Hill County Road 3106 and FM 1214. So that's in the Bynum area. So again, this rotation is crossing over Highway 171 and moving up to the northeast. So this is that area that we're watching closely with this storm right now. So again, this is the area that rotation is again right moving towards the Bynum area. I think this may be a little lagged on the, let's give it again there. Again, trying to look at all this here where we're, all right, so yeah. All right, so rotation is down in here. So it was first looking like here, this rotation is kind of shifting down in this part. So again, it is near the Bynum area right now. So 1242, so this is the road right here that tornado, that would be right where this rotation is. So thank you very much to the Hill County Sheriff Department, Bynum Fire Department there. So again, we're getting rotation here up towards the Bynum area. So it's probably a little east of here, but right along 1242, that's where we've had a confirmed tornado on the ground. Bynum, you need to be in your tornado safe area now. You need to take precautions. Again, what we tell people is put as much between you and that potential tornado outside. As many walls as you can, get away from windows, try to get in the interior portion of your house. If you live in a manufactured home, mobile home, you need to be getting out of that, and that's where you need to plan accordingly if you're further down the line with this storm. We don't want you out in your car. We don't want you going outside and looking at this storm. And here's the new update. So this rotation is sitting right near and north of, it looks like FM 1242 kind of turns up towards Bynum. So again, it's right in that area, pretty much moving into the Bynum area right now. And again, on the wider view, what we're watching here is, let me get the lightning off of it here. So again, we're watching a storm that is east of I-35. Again, a tornado warned storm that runs until 2:15. So we've got another 15 minutes on it. This will likely be extended more going into Navarro and parts of Ellis County up to our northeast. So if you live in the Mertens area, you're likely to have a tornado warning issued for your area soon. Again, the tag has now been that it's an observed tornado. That's where you see the white on the outside around that. An observed tornado in and around the Bynum area from the Bynum Fire Department with that storm. And again, wide view of everything we're watching right now. Again, our entire radar network, we're scanning the skies, keeping an eye on everything. Folks in the McLennan County area, Waco area, you may be hearing some rumbles of thunder, may run into some rain. Nothing to be worried about with that. Really what we're watching is this stuff out west, and really, to me, it'd be this stuff out to the southwest because it's in a little more undisturbed air right now where it could latch into more of this moisture and fuel for these thunderstorms out along the dry line. But again, a pair of tornado warnings. The one near Corsicana north of there, that's the one that rolled through a large portion of central Texas. Started down there, the Coppers Cove area, moved across Fort Cavazos, eventually across China Spring, and then up to around areas near and south of the west area, and then now moving up into Navarro County. But that's moving out of central Texas. The other one we're watching right now is, again, right near the Malone area on Highway 71. Typically we would see this notch here, and that's where we'd be worried, but really the rotation is sitting a little further south than that in this storm. So what we probably have is a little secondary area, but it's covered with so much rain it's hard to really see when we look on the ground. So we got a new report that it's still a report from, this is Navarro County. So Navarro County is still reporting a tornado on the ground up in that first storm. So that one has had a likely long track, or a track of several tornadoes touching down. So let's go back to the velocity again on this. This is looking at the winds inside of this. Now, in the latest, now part of this could be just the radar having, it's still picking up. It's not quite as right up next to each other, so it may still be that broad, but you'll see the storms kind of build up, relax, build up, relax. But again, right now we've probably got a tornado crossing Highway 171. So in and around the Bynum area, anywhere in this eastern part of Hill County. Malone, you're under this warning. Hillsborough, you're under this warning. The threat is east of you. You're going to still have pretty good thunderstorm activity, but this rotation is moving east-northeast, so it's going to stay southeast of Hillsborough. It's now east of I-35, and again, working towards the Bynum area right now is where that threat is continuing to work towards. So that's really what we're watching with this storm. And again, the rotation is hard to see when you look at just the velocity product on this. And a lot of this has to do with just how heavy the rain is. I'm going to look at the debris tracker on this. I doubt we're going to see anything, just the location of this storm. Yeah, you can kind of see the little, we look at these colors here. What it's telling us is whether the radar thinks it's hitting raindrops or stuff that's shaped in different sizes. And that lets us kind of see what we're potentially looking at with this storm. So again, right now, a potential tornado. Again, we've had the report from the Bynum Fire Department of a tornado spotted. So again, in and around Bynum, you have to assume there's a tornado passing through your area right now. It's likely sharded in a bunch of rain with it as it's moving through. So we need to be taking your tornado precautions. It's a day that you need to be weather aware with these storms for sure. Now, elsewhere across central Texas, again, we've got the one tornado warning. We've got a tornado watch that's in effect for just about all of central Texas. This runs until the 6 o'clock time frame. Again, strong storms, talking about very high winds, hail, which hail hasn't been a big issue so far, but then these stray tornadoes is the issue that we're going to watch for. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, so what you're seeing there in my ear telling me that sorry, my computer kicked me off real quick here. That is a view of traffic backed up on I-35 because of a report of overturned 18-wheeler, at least one, maybe multiple ones, there on I-35 near the Abbott area. So that's a sign, too, of possible tornado that moved through there and very, very high winds that worked its way through that area as well. So, again, tornado watch in effect. Let me clear this off here. My computer got mad at me and decided it didn't want to work for me. All right, so let's step back out here and kind of show you the broad view. Again, I showed you the tornado watch. If you're in the Waco area, you're hearing some rain. Also out west, we're here, got showers, but these are just more run-of-the-mill thunderstorms right now. The main one that we're watching is this activity that's up in the Hill County area, again, right on top of the Bynum area. This would have been the storm that would have caused the issues you're seeing with your screen there. That Abbott was where Sean was watching our TxDOT cam there and knew that you could kind of tell that the view of the clouds changed, the winds changed, and something was moving across. And when that high wind shift, that was likely the time frame we were talking about, the potential of that high wind. So again, traffic backed up some due to a potential 18-wheeler that overturned there. Tornado warning, again, in and around Bynum is the last time we've had the observed ground truth of a tornado ongoing there. Right now, that rotation is moving through or just east of the Bynum area. So crossing Highway 171, it's going to move into very rural areas of eastern Hill County. So we're talking FM 1946 there is the road that runs right here kind of from the Bynum area up towards the Hill County area. The Irene area there, now we're starting to talk more about parts in Navarro County with this storm, because we zoom this out. Again, we've got the very, very significant rotation. This is, again, the one that touched down in the China Spring area. That's up around the Corsicana area. That one is a very dangerous confirmed storm. Right now, this rotation not as intense out around the Bynum area, but still a storm that could, and it, like I said earlier, did report from the National Weather Service and the emergency managers that a tornado was on the ground. So something that we are watching these storms very, very closely. So I want to show you this Navarro County one, because this is pretty intense rotation here with this storm. And I'm going to get the latest from the National Weather Service on it so we can kind of see what's going on. So they've got, again, confirmed tornado, damaging winds, quarter-size hail with that storm. Now as we go, that's that area right in there. So again, and we go to the one that's moving through the Highway 171 area. Again, it's right in this area here where you see these colors kind of match up there. So you got the bright greens and the reds, but as compared to the one I showed you in Navarro County, it's not as tight, not as violent of rotation inside that storm. So not as much of a worry as we have up there. But again, we extremely appreciate the first responders that are out there watching the storm and letting us know ground truth, because it's really, really hard to see all this when you've got this much heavy rain that's ongoing with it. So again, that rotation is working its way through and now east of Bynum. Bynum, you still need to be in your tornado shelter, in your tornado safe place. Folks in Abbott, everything's past you now. You can get outside and kind of see what happened there. But now this particular cell is continuing to move its way more off to the northeast. So let's go back to the reflectivity here And again, this is just one of those ones where looking at the reflectivity, it's becoming very just muddled up right now. We've got a couple, kind of right in this area, we see that decrease in the reflectivity where it goes orange to yellow in there. That's likely where the updraft's holding this up a little bit and causing some of that rotation in the storm there. So that's the area we're watching that's shifting east. Again, working up to the Hill-Navarro County line. Still waiting for the National Weather Service. They said that it's weakened enough that they're not planning on extending the warning. So this warning runs until 2:15, but we are seeing, as we showed you that last kind of view of the velocity with that, which is good news. We're seeing some rotation, but you see how broad it is. Now, again, I want to use this other storm as an example. You see the difference. So this storm here, you can see the bright colors right next to each other and the ground truth that there's a tornado on the ground. We did get one report of a tornado on the ground, but you see how broad. So this storm is rotating. It is spinning in a broad nature, but this one is violently rotating, and that's the one that has had a long track history of producing tornadoes all across central Texas. So we got about 7 minutes, and this warning will be allowed to expire across Hill County, so that's definitely good news. Let's go back out to the wide view, kind of show you what's going on. And I'm going to throw the lightning on for just a second because there's a bunch of it, but this kind of gives you an idea of how strong these storms are. We still have thunderstorms rolling across other parts of central Texas. We got one that's moving right through the Waco area, and then watching this activity more out to the west of Coryell County and out into parts of Lampasas County. None of this activity is overly strong right now, so that's good news. But still storms that we've got to keep a close eye on. Again, switching, there's our view from our Hamilton radar, giving us a good kind of high resolution view of this. What would we be watching is to see if one of these cells can punch through the unstable air and really flare up. But right now, non-severe thunderstorms and just more your run-of-the-variety style thunderstorms that are ongoing. So that's good news. Right now, all the active weather has been, let's see. Okay, so we got a report from Bynum that the tornado that they saw lifted up off the ground. So that's ground truth to what we're seeing with the radar. Again, broad rotation, still some, and this is a storm that has kind of pulsed some. We were really concerned about the other storm. This one was following in behind it and has had just kind of a pulsing nature. Not quite as strong of rotation, but again, this storm we did get reports of a 18-wheeler down, and we've had some reports of a tornado in and around Abbott. And the sky cam or the traffic cam view you see there, that's folks heading southbound from Hillsboro towards Abbott, and we're seeing the traffic backed up. And again, that's due to the report that we have of an 18-wheeler that got blown over as well. So again, this warning goes for another 5 minutes or so. For folks that are watching us on air, again, right now, the tornado threat is diminishing with this storm, but still there. We want folks in eastern Hill County still to kind of take this seriously, because again, this is at least likely produce a tornado down in Abbott. Reports of a tornado on the ground in the Bynum area. Still some very decent rotation of the storm as it's crossing Highway 171. So this is north and northwest of the Malone area. Malone, we're not worried about tornado threat there. It's really in this rural area of far southeastern Hill County, well southeast of the Hillsboro area, east of the town of Bynum is where we're watching this potential tornado that could be ongoing with this activity. So again, it's becoming more ragged, not showing the signs. You can even see there's barely any other than this kind of void of the radar right there. That's where the updraft still could be going. But if you live in the Mertens area, still an area we want to be concerned. Right now, you're not going to be under a warning. The National Weather Service says they are not expecting to extend it. If you live in the Waco area and you got the thunderstorm activity that we're watching and you're worried about the activity, this is more run-of-the-mill thunderstorm activity. So this is good, but this will be activity that we will be watching as we go over the next few hours to see what can increase with this activity. But right now, nothing that's anywhere near severe. So that's definitely okay. So again, just to kind of recap what we're at, we've got the tornado warning in effect for the eastern parts of Hill County. That is going to be allowed to expire. That threat is diminishing. It'll officially expire in 4 minutes. We have more scattered activity, none of which has become severe, but we will be tracking each one of these individual cells very closely, but nothing to worry about as of now. The big storm we were watching is now up north of Corsicana. It did work through the China Spring area and likely did produce a tornado. We got Jessica Rajkumar, who is live out where some of this damage occurred. Jessica, what are you seeing out there?
We'll see Yes, Brady, it is pretty intense out here. I don't know if you can
10,
see it behind me, but I'm going to give you guys a close look of what is going on right there. If you can see it, that is a trampoline on a telephone line. So right now, Waco PD and state troopers are directing traffic. It is on a 2-lane road. Right now it is on Wortham Bend Road. So that's where I'm at right now. And it's on the corner of Wortham Bend Road, and then Knoll Drive. So their neighbors around me are saying that there's a lot of destruction in the area from fences being torn down, and another neighbor saying that she herself and her trampoline is also destroyed, although it's not on the telephone pole like we see behind us. But neighbors are kind of just watching to see that it is still raining in this area, so all we can make sure is just to drive slow and watch for what traffic cops are saying. But as you can see, Brady, it is a lot here, but nothing to the point where it's hurting anyone. Everyone in the area is safe as far as I know right now. But I'll catch back in with you guys later. Reporting in China Spring, Jessica Rajkumar, KWTX News 10.
All right, thank you, Jessica. And again, yeah, you saw a lot of times it's the trampolines, the fences, the stuff that isn't as tied down, and where that wind can have a bigger impact on. So it's not going to be your extreme style tornado, but you saw some roof damage there. I did see earlier report of about 145 homes in and around China Spring with power outages. You may see that intermittent as they work through some of those power lines to get some of that stuff off. So again, the storm that caused that is now way up north of the Corsicana area, northern Navarro County. We still have the tornado warning for the storm that was observed near Bynum and likely produced a tornado near Abbott as well. It has since weakened. The National Weather Service here in the next couple minutes will allow that to expire. But elsewhere, it's more of just now we're kind of the wait to see. We'll probably here shortly get you back to your regular programming and be here keeping an eye on everything for you. But nothing is overly severe. We are getting a lot of lightning inside that storm in McLennan County that's moved through Waco, now up around the Belmead area. And then again, more scattered activity down in parts of Coryell County, down in Lampasas County. But again, as Sean told you earlier, a lot of this air has been worked over by previous thunderstorms. So that's going to decrease a lot of the threat and concerns with that. So that's definitely good news. But we've got to keep weather aware. That's the big thing with a watch. A watch means there's probably not going to be anything for all of us, but the conditions are right in the atmosphere that a storm can flare up really quickly. And we've now had visual proof of how strong these storms can get and the damage that these storms can produce across parts of central Texas with this kind of isolated tornado concern as well. So again, the tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire, and it should drop off the screen here in just a second. No word from the National Weather Service of anything going to be extended because the rotation inside this storm has weakened significantly. So that's definitely good news. Let's take one more look just to give ourselves the visual clue. Yeah, there is rotation, but it is broad rotation and not balanced. A lot of times if we see bright on one side and not as much on the other, there's inflow coming into this storm. So it's still an active supercell thunderstorm, but not the kind of tight rotation. Even the one in Corsicana, up north of Corsicana, Navarro County, continuing to weaken some as well. So we're still watching these two areas. The warning now has been expired for eastern Hill County. So the News 10 viewing area, we do not have any watch or warnings in place right now. So we've kind of transitioned from that tornado concern now to the kind of watch and see what's going to develop. Right now, all of these storms are more run of the garden kind of normal kind of stuff. Nothing that's anything too crazy. We do not have I'm going to look here. This is going to make a bunch of just crazy colors. But the reason I was watching to see if we could see any just on a real quick, any rotation, but nothing that's showing any rotation with this activity. So that's good news as well. But again, you can kind of see this is from our Hamilton radar right now, and it's got a good view of this activity. Again, thunderstorms, we do have lightning inside this activity, but non-severe activity right now. So that's good news as well. I think we're about to show you some of the video that we're getting from that activity that's been ongoing there across parts of, some of the previous storms that we've had. So I'm trying to get the radar fixed here. Okay, so we'll check in with Sean real quick. He's going to show us some of the videos and damage that's been coming from some of these previous storms. Sean?
Yeah, Brady, bear with me for 1 second. I'm not an Apple guy. I'm an Android guy, so I'm still trying to figure this out. But we had, of course, a lot of damage videos and photos coming up. I'll figure it out. I'll get there. I promise. Oh, here we go. The little AirPlay button. There we go. We're going to Okay. We'll figure it out. We're going to go back to Brady and we'll get back to some of the video because it is really good. You want to see this video.
All right, thank you, Sean. Poor guy gets stuck on the radar for 4 hours and then gets an iPad and he doesn't know how to use it. So again, we're not going to stay on this much longer on air-wise. We may continue our web coverage just to make sure we've got people information with this tornado watch ongoing. But again, thunderstorms moving across the north and western parts of central Texas as we speak. Non-severe thunderstorms right now. Any of these storms could produce some high winds, some lightning, some heavy rainfall. But again, non-severe thunderstorms that are rolling through right now. The big concern would be if any of these thunderstorms can intensify over the next 30 minutes to an hour. That rotation concern is definitely there. I think, Sean, did you figure out the iPad? Yes. Okay, let's check in one more time with Sean, see if he knows his technology.
Technology has not defeated me today. Which is good news. It's been a very busy day of weather, and I'm glad that we were able to at least show you some of the damage videos and photos that we have seen across central Texas. This, a couple of moments ago, Brady was talking about it. We were watching as this tornado likely crossed over the I-35 corridor. That was the Abbott area. That was the overturned 18-wheeler. Give me just 1 second to unlock the iPad. That overturned 18-wheeler, that was by the Abbott area. And if we can get that back up, maybe not. Technology wins again. Unfortunately. We'll get that working for you and we'll get it back to you. But I do want to point out, this is the KWTX Radar Network. We're getting the newest scans again. That tornado warned storm has continued to pull away, which is great news. But all this scattered rain that is continuing to move its way through central Texas. The atmosphere is worked over. We're hoping that it's going to be okay. We're hoping that we're not going to get a resurgence of more showers and thunderstorms. But that is at least going to be possible for the next couple of hours as we move our way into the early parts of the evening. As far as the power outage reports go, like Brady said, we're seeing a couple of sporadic power outage reports, about 151 folks affected in the China Spring area. Estimated restoration time for that is 11:30 p.m. Also a couple of folks just with this most recent storm that moved through the Waco, Woodway, mostly Woodway and Hewitt area. 3 power outages reported there. Restoration time just about 4 o'clock. And the rest of the area outside of a couple of, actually some more power outages just around the Killeen area. We're seeing just in Killeen, west of Harker Heights, 95 folks without power. Estimated restoration time would be about 20 or 40 minutes from now. Hopefully that does be the case, but we're, of course, keeping an eye on that for you. Here's the update on traffic. There you go. I showed you that video or that photo about the overturned tractor trailer a couple of moments ago, and this is what is happening now because of that overturned tractor trailer. It is a parking lot, or getting to be a parking lot on I-35 in Hillsboro. All the traffic backups, we are taking a look southward, I believe. This is I-35 and State Highway 81. So if you're familiar with the area, this could be a pretty busy thoroughfare, especially with the I-35 east-west split just kind of coming to a head just a little bit to the north. But it is a parking lot, or turning into a parking lot from north to south on I-35 southbound near Hillsboro. That parking lot is, well, there it is. Brady?
Yeah, and if you're looking at that video wondering exactly where it is, so that's just on the south side of Hillsboro. So if you're driving southbound on I-35, get past the Walmart, you kind of got that little S right there. That's where that video is looking, and that's a pretty good backup coming all the way from that Abbott accident there. So let's give you one more recap of what's going on. We'll get you back to regular programming. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be here keeping an eye on it, but we still have thunderstorms that are ongoing across central Texas, but we are now at the point where there is no more severe weather. So we have a thunderstorm that's working across northern parts of McLennan County, out of the Waco area, pushing up towards west. One thing to keep in mind with the scattered thunderstorm activity, if you did get damage from earlier storms, make sure you're keeping an eye on the radar because redevelopment could be moving through. Bosque County, a decent thunderstorm working along Highway 6 around Clifton. Could see some small hail in that. Coryell County, just some more marginal rain and thunderstorm activity there near and west and southwest of Gatesville. Watching activity down to the southwest, and the one storm I think we would have to keep the most eye on is probably this one that's down near the Cherokee area. But the storms have been forming there, acting like they're getting their business together, and then don't really do so. So this is closer to the dry line. But again, no storms right now that warrant any concerns across central Texas. But the big takeaway right now is a tornado watch remains in effect till 6 o'clock this evening. That covers all of central Texas. Our storm team will be here. We've got the full team here keeping an eye on everything, and we will be here with you throughout the rest of the afternoon and evening. Keep you posted. We also have our news crews out and across, keeping an eye on damages, figuring out what's going on all across Central Texas. So stay with KWTX.com and with us online on our free KWTX weather app, and we'll have you updated throughout the day. We'll be back on air as needed if any new warnings are issued.